round number 8. It's already 10-7, 10-8, 10-9 until they're buying up again. Things get pretty tough at that point. The mental game really starts to swing against you when the team equalizes up, and that's where we're probably going to see another pause come out. So next round's going to be super important. This one here, don't expect Crew to win, but they got to walk out with like 3 kills. Make this costly for Furia.
Well, they've already spotted out that saved rifle. A bit of a bait and switch here. Actually, in fact, it's bait, switch, and switch. There are 3 players currently around this position. I don't think there's going to be any way they're expecting this sort of angle. And look, there is no way that they expect NZR still to be here. They're actually still holding the angle, but then the peak comes through into mid. You want it cost. Even though the setup looked almost flawless, they've now taken down 3 players.
This is ridiculous. You're left into an even 2-on-2, a Hunter's Fury to play with post-plant. Spike still needs to be retrieved, but it should be.
I have the spike.
I'm not sure if Dalzik's going to be able to get a weapon with the door closed now. I think that's going to be off limits. But even still, this is a very, very strong place to play from for Crew, considering they came into the round and should have lost. You know, they should have walked out with 2 kills, maybe 3. And instead, they now have a real chance to win this one out. In fact, that turret's not going to spot the player up close. Mazzino not able to get it done, and Khalil clutches it out. A very close round indeed for Crew, and they can be damn proud of what they've done with mostly pistols.
Yeah, it really is one of those spots as well where I feel like Furia had
so close.
Perfect setup for what was coming through for the attack.
Yeah, no, definitely.
They had a layered bait and switch with 3 different players. The rotation even then comes through to try and spam through the wall. Like, look at it. It's just ratty. They took the bait peek with the first. The swing comes through. Then they have NZR just waiting back behind and ends up in a 1v1 with your last player having 30-something HP. Like, that is not the way you wanted this to go. 36. So it's good that they managed to close it out for Furia, but honestly, like, Crew could have easily just closed the game there.
Yeah. Oh, I 100% agreed. They're basically about to close it out if they just hit one more shot on that. But you got to say, even to find the impact that they did, it puts them on a pedestal now. Coming into this round where QCK takes a very aggressive peek and gets no reward for it. Furia, a man down to start it off. This is the round we said Crew really want to win to stop Furia from making that comeback in, to stop the foot from going through the door. It's not started out well.
Yeah, you can see that as well, both extremities of the map are now being pressured. They want a response and they want it quickly. And on the other side of things, I think this is what Crew has done so well so far, is they have just not panicked. The second they get any of these openers, the swing should be coming, and that's just all too easy. They almost expect this aggression at this point, and Furia just falling into their own trap. NZR, this looks like a desperation ult, and he comes close, but it's not achieved anything.
I think that was called off the back of Mazzino being so low to try and remove that Hunter's Fury from the round and get a pick. It ends up damaging Nags. It nearly takes Mazzino down. He'll survive. And with the trades coming in favor of Crew, they've got a 4 versus 2 as they plant that spike on A.
Not quite on spot. Moving around the generator. This is aggressive from NZR. My teammate, Operator, not really sure there was anything he could really do here. I'm also intrigued to know the financial position of Furia, just because they only had 1 player survive in the last round. They bought an Operator into this one alongside the remaining rifles, and NZR's just gone in for basically a 1v4 on the site.
Yeah, again, I think a lot of that is the knee-jerk decision of Mazzino being so low, wanting to go for it. They might have even spotted that he was the one planting as well. And just wanting to stop him from getting out of the site.
To help Crew.
But as soon as he falls, there is no opportunity to go for it anymore. Zant has to save the Operator, and an 11th will be found for Crew. They only barely lost out on their map pick, 13-11. But right here on Ascent, they have looked a whole lot more dominant.
Yeah, I think as well, you just look even at the scoreboard, just the performances that we've got across the board, it has been an incredibly strong performance now. It looks like actually Furia's economy is going to be fine. The 3-round streak was enough. Like I think they had a flawless before having those sort of weaker purchases, so that's at least something. But yeah, I guess like trying to do some extra damage to your opponent, I can understand it, especially now that there's actually going to be a weapon missing for Nags and choosing Blade instead, so I guess that's why.
That's Nagzit. Blade Storm dashing, and again, this guy is so aggressive on the Jet in the early round, and it's finding dividends almost every single time. It's seriously impressive the amount that Nagzit is able to do. As they now cross over towards the site, they're being spammed at by that operator, but it will find nothing.
Nice
Furia
spam,
again
operator
faces
spam.
difficult retake.
Yeah, they do, however, have a lockdown. So they're going to try and just force these players out of position. And in fact, both teams have decided to do exactly the same thing. Just waiting the other out. We'll see if anybody actually gets trapped, but it's going to be the space looking to be taken.
Oh my God!
5 players have been detained across both teams.
Oh,
What is
shit.
that?
I have literally never seen
Stick
this
it,
before.
motherfucker.
The double lockdown, double, triple detain. As Zand is just cleaning up, covering that defuse, and they'll get away with it. One of the more ludicrous rounds we've seen at Champions. As Furia, I mean, I think
5 players?
our analysts are going to be scratching their heads on that at that one, wondering how the hell anyone won that round. I think we're all losers there. That's insane.
That's just unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that before. Kesnet also, he got detained up top on the balcony. So he was actually running back around and killed 2 players of the enemy team because they never expected him to be up there. It was a nice attempt, but yeah, that was very, very peculiar. Maybe losing their one versus the other team's one, and it just ended up weird. But hey, I'm sure Fury are going to be taking that all day long, and look how bad the buy is. This is why they wanted to do damage in the previous rounds. Wall timing is everything. It's going to be broken relatively quickly, but that gives so much information over to QCK, now knowing that there's players around this spot, and while what was being attempted as a fairly pacey take has been slowed to a halt.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Crew are going to... Well, normally they would think twice about going towards this angle, but they've set up for an A take. They want to commit to this. And so dealing with QCK is going to be the big thing. Can they actually manage to find this duel as they come around the corner, at least the trade? Klaus already down. It's time to move through short. One has already been spotted. The smoke goes up. QCK falls back. Gonna concede the control. Allow them to move towards this site. But they'll punish Nagzit, who got a little too greedy. Oh my God.
What?
They've got the site, they've got upgrades, and now all of a sudden a round that started out in spectacular fashion for Furia is very much up for contention again.
There's a res, but it's kind of in spots where you can't really do anything about it. So it almost becomes irrelevant until you manage to clear out these players on the site. And at that point, well, you don't really need the res anymore. The angle's also been playing close. And although there's an operator picked up for Delzik, it's not really going to be too valuable here. He's just going to stick to his pistol, and they are draining things out effectively. This weak purchase looks so rough to begin with. It's now left on to just NZR. He has to try and make He jumps over the top to find himself going back in, but Delzik with this pistol will confirm the Thrifty round. Absolute filth.
Have you ever seen that before? Have you ever seen someone do that in a comp game before?
Not as clean as that.
Nowhere near. And to get away with it like that, you could see Crew were confused. Like, I do not blame them. That is one of the more ludicrous plays that I've seen. Look at this. He bunny hops over. Oh my God, Mizzino is raging, but what a shot from Delzik to close it, to keep them alive, keep the dream of closing this one out. They're on 12 now. Crew looking to bring us to map 3.
Yeah, and now it's their opponents who end up with the damaged economy. A Stinger, a couple of Judges, and, well, the rifles at least on the remainder. They do still have a res available for this round, but I think I'm a little bit more worried about the Empress, knowing that Kesnet will have the opportunity to heal and dismiss infinitely is a tiny bit scary.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The double Judge play, though, is always on the defensive side. My God, it's scary. But for Fury, it's scary to be defending the whole map with it as well, having to use these double Judges. And it's going to be a very stagnant hold. Not surprising at all, considering what's in it here for Furia. The weapons that they have don't really allow them to get aggressive on any of these angles. They've just got to wait for Crew to fall into their arms and hope they hit the shots when they do.
Yeah, they've been using a lot of delay tactics thus far, especially QCK. So already his wall will fall, but with only 45 seconds left, some space needs to be taken. It does look like they're going to go walking.
Oh, baby!
The first kill comes for free, but there should almost definitely be a trade.
No way!
Nagzit with 2 back-to-back, looking to put this one in the grave. 30 seconds left. now for the defenders to try and do anything. The plant coming through on the A site, and more. This might not be pretty, but even the time being bought is worthwhile. Gonna be a rough one. And Mizzino, that's just filth.
Yeah.
That's the timing to get that kill.
He knew they wanted the weapon, right? That's a good little lurk out towards the bottom of mid. NZR is dead, and it looks like Khalil might be done for here. He'll find the first, but still go! That was a damn good attempt, but in the end,
Amazing
Crew will
shots.
take it, and we will go all the way to map 3.
It's exactly what we wanted in this series. It has been
Cool, man. Cool, dude. That was insane. It's a crazy fucking match. Ugh. Okay, let's see him.
Match found. Deathmatch. Warm up.
Ugh. No, no, my Reyna. I will defend this Reyna.
Dominating.
The MVP is
The
mine.
MVP is
Let's do this.
mine.
Fight.
I need to change
Don't
my
hold
gun
back.
buddy, man. I hate this one. Actually, don't hate it. I just don't know where to fucking put it. Hold on. No, Reyna, I fuck protected you, man. I'm so hungry, dude. Hey, what's up? Thought it was middle. What is it?
Get out of here.
Whiffed. It hurt. Fucked it up.
Scouts down.
I'm so hungry.
Brimstone's out.
What is that fucking drag?
What?
What is that, dude?
Dominating.
No. No. It's killing me. What? I don't know where I hear them. I'm so fucking confused, dude. Ah.
Engineers down.
So wicked.
10 kills remaining.
No! Dude, I only hit body shots, man. I'm not fucking suck, dude. I know you're here, man. Peek me already. Ah, no, don't do this.
Sorry, bro.
No, I whiff. Oh, the whole fucking spray went to that guy there. Oh, he took a fucking do this. He actually killed me. Okay, that's only
5 kills remaining.
Target down. No, you don't.
I'm holding you like a fucking snake, mate. 3 guys. Which one do I shoot first? What? He just spawned there. That's unlucky.
Heads up.
Oh my fucking lord, dude.
1 kill remaining.
Game point, bruv.
Dude! How many fucking steps do I need to hear? There we go.
And that's how it gets done.
I need to check up on my food. Give me a sec. Hi, I'm new to Val. Any advice? Play the shit out of the game, bro. That's my advice. Wait, I have to grab my food. I'm hungry. Under the 8. Under the 8-2. Wat? Oh fuck man, gisteren bij een lompe rave geweest. Oké.
Doesn't it? And
Like,
what is that bracelet? It's
I
like,
don't know if I could ever get
crystals,
tattoos, but I
diamonds, I
look
don't
at
know.
theirs and I'm like,
see, Tom,
kinda
this is the
tempted.
thing, right?
if it was me, it would have
I'm
worked.
gonna be real. I'm be real
If
with
I
you.
came in with hand tattoos, you'd be like, I don't want to cast.
Yeah, I'd
this
be like,
guy
Tom,
anymore."
you need some help, man. This ain't you. This ain't you at all. Like, I think we'd all be very worried about you if you came in with hand tattoos.
What if I
but
got the like
guys on Fury?
Aang-
It suits them.
the Aang avatar tattoo?
I'd be down for that.
Okay.
I got a marker back in my room.
I like
got
how
you.
I said tattoo and you've downgraded it to marker
Yeah,
instantly.
yeah, but we'll like because
We'll
what,
test it
what are you
first.
gonna get it tonight for tomorrow's show? No, we'll draw it on. Let's just jot that down, production. Let's make sure that's part of the wardrobe tomorrow. Get a henna tattoo. They last a while.
Oh no. No.
Oh come on, someday.
It's going along with Sue going bald, which seems to not be that far away at the moment.
Yeah. Look, it can happen. It can happen. We're at 3-2 here though, and you take a look at crew. Economy's kind of on the rocks here. It's not looking too good. You're gonna have that rifle obviously on Nags. The rest of the team trying what they can. A couple sheriffs, Marshall, but it ain't the most convincing buy for this defensive side. They're saving up their cash for the next round.
They're just walking up. Well, it's been spotted now. There is technically a player on the cross, but the amount of space that's already been taken. Look at the spikers as well. This is almost like, I don't want to say a solo mission because there's technically 2 players, but Zan just walking in. They're also bait. Look at the rotation. This is all a fake. They're throwing a fake in and around, which is basically an eco. They're going to tag up quick, which was make them think that there's still players here. Now, they haven't fallen completely, though, because there is this sniper looking to try and hold it down, but it will be an afterplant. There's not much that can be done other than Nags it hitting a nice timing. He gets away with the first, goes back for a little more. A double kill off the back of the only rifle they have. Klaus has managed to retrieve another one. A nice idea for Furia, but it started to fall apart. Still plenty of time to play with, but it's all on Zed to try and hold it back, and Klaus is going to close it with a triple. The idea, as said, good one, but crew, they're disruptive.
I liked so much of that round from Furia. Even QCK being trapped on C long, gets tagged up, uses his ult to cover him getting out. I mean, like, even the start to it, the fact that they put the Trailblazer in, Zan pushes up, like, I have zero issue with what they were doing. It was the right call, but Nags never should have been allowed to just walk out on the side like that and take so much space. You do everything right and around, but it takes that one little slip up, let the wrong player in at the wrong moment, and you're 4-2 down, facing into an operator buy from the defensive side. This is scary.
I think it was almost the assumption that their fake had worked better than it did.
Yeah,
that ends up hurting them in the end. How is he still alive? Okay, thank God. Zand again. This man with a Spectre is almost good as everyone else with a rifle. And Mark Kesnit, the second he picks one up, is going to kill him off. It is just going to be the fallback, though. Kesnit actually gets dropped off that. So NZR has pulled this into an advantageous position from Furia, and they're just waiting now. They know that they've got the advantage. No reason to re-aggress just yet.
Yeah, they're going to use some utility even to clear out mid, make sure there's not been any pushes up behind them. It's a little bit dangerous if there had been C-long aggression, but that's going to be cleared for now by QCK. Nice deep flash on long as well. That's great information. That's all he wanted, just to confirm there's nobody behind them. Interestingly, though, Tom, they're still going to go back towards this A site, and Klaus has now managed to maneuver himself around. He's got the flank. They're watching for it right now. It all comes down to the timing. QCK has turned his back as they round the corner to long, but Klaus is going to walk
30
right
seconds.
past them. And now they might even think it's a C hit until that recon comes down. It confirms that it's a Klaus. Still has the timing, but the shot's not going to be connected.
The funny thing is, if they didn't
planted.
recon there, he would have gone pushing all the way back round to C.
Oh, he'd
Just
be gone, yeah.
They've gone C, because they just pushed down mid as well, so it was the perfect threading of the needle, and then even the peek back in from Mazin was just well enough timed. Delzik, chances are just trying to hold a rifle into the next round. They won the last of some weird quasi-eco rounds, so maybe they'll have a little bit of extra cash available to them, and with a chance to invest a Blade Storm as well. I don't think that the next round is going to be for free, so making sure they'll bring something through. But again, Furia, adaptation, some decent fights on long as well, and Zand. I think that's what it came down to. If someone's going to double entry with a Spectre, I think you can be quite happy with having him on your team.
Yeah, it's I've been really impressed by Zand. I think he kind of fell off towards the second half of Ascend, but other than that, the consistency has been there throughout this series, especially considering the role that he's in. This guy is currently 8-5 on the attack side, when his role for the majority of the time
1
involves
second, Pete.
diving at his opponents, rushing them down and trying to catch them off guard on the pacing that the majority of the time you're going to die and your teammates are going to trade, and that's a good situation.
Yeah.
And yet he's still managing to farm up insane levels of value before he goes down.
Yeah, the same can be said as well for Nagset. Like, what he's currently doing, the fact that he's 7-3 is silly.
For sure.
Like,
Yeah.
He should be shut down a little bit more. Now, they're already going to know that Kesnet's in a very aggressive position, try and do some damage with the shock darts, and, well, with the smoke covering, he'll be able to escape. Again, though, this is just an early default, and because of the utility that's currently available for that attacking side, like having that double initiator, there's always so much information. You can see they're currently using the Tiger to try and clear out short. They've already flashed long to clear out that position as well. We've seen the drone go down on long C, so they know right now that there are no aggressive positions available because they've just got all the utility to find that info out.
With the corner cleared on A long now as well, and no pushes being spotted coming through from Crew. I mean, with 50 seconds on the clock, Furia are kind of being shoehorned into playing this. They're going to have to make a move onto a site blind because there's zero information given over by the Crew side. And it will be the A site that they go towards. Kesnet has been huge so far. That Cloudburst, though, manages to keep Zand alive. He doesn't get a kill, but he damn well contributes to it. So does Mazzino, though. A fast double before he's taken down. And of course, it's Zand to get that done.
Nexus just walked in. He's only using the pistol, and oh, the rifle is there. He's managed to retrieve it. There's going to be a nasty surprise if they peek in. Massive just about gets the trade. It was a good peek at the end from Furia to go together, but that was still way too close considering what weaponry was there.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, Zand was very low on HP, though, right? He was on 10 health, so obviously that rush around with the Classic easily takes him down with the right click. But then when they line up, and we've seen a lot of those moments in this game, Tom, where players are kind of stood directly behind each other in that spray, and it's just one bullet away from a disaster. But luckily for Furia, they do manage to recover this round. And you take a look at that timeline, it has been a very competitive half so far. And honestly, sure, it's 4-4, but these rounds have been so close as well. I don't think it does it justice.
Yeah, and that's the problem, really, for Crew. Even though the last fight didn't look good, it's still now an eco. Like, that was everything they had invested into the round. So this gives a real opportunity for Furia to actually put some pretty big numbers on the board. Straight walk into the C site. Obviously, knowing your opponent's economy is weak, you're going to look to take those battles at range and see it's the easiest setup for that. Again, though, this comes down to how much cost, how much damage Crew can do, and maybe if they can earn up an ultimate or two, because they're not far away from a few of them.
Now, there's opportunities, that's for sure. Rounds like this is just about max minning. You really don't want to be coming in expecting to win. They've already got the one kill. Let's see what else they can get done. Still some players trapped in towards the site. Mazin's going to be dropped as well. Look, again, chances of winning so damn low. They'll try to skirmish, though. Try to keep these players around, and find themselves one kill. That's why Mazzino goes to backside to pick up that Marshall. It won't work in the end, but they end up with 2 kills, farm up a couple ults. I mean, altogether successful round considering what it was.
Yeah, not bad at all. I think both teams, though, are getting either they have the ultimates online or they're about to for quite a few of the players. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be intrigued to see who actually manages to win that battle, because chances are that could be the difference between an absolutely dominant half coming out from Furia or a fight back from Crew if they manage to utilize them properly.
Yeah, I feel like moving into this round, I almost expect that operator on Nagzit to be a huge part of the game. His early aggression, as we said in the previous map, didn't quite pay off. He's going to use it to cover the cross as Kesnet pushes down on short. Now he'll come up to join them. This A aggression, we've seen it from them before. But Crew seem to have been read in a way. Furia instantly abandon all control of A, start to look at B, put in the Trailblazer, and they're looking to seize the control, but they have slowed the pace just enough for Crew to almost reset this hold.
Well, that's the thing. When you have Nagzit this deep, like, you're not going to be holding anybody else on A, so they've almost given them the space to rotate. The lockdown, though, is almost a fake out. They're going to start running it towards that C site, looking for the opener, but they don't expect
have
Dillz
an
to get the corner.
fucking
Still, though, he
multiple.
only gets one. That his teammate has rotated in, even put in a counter lockdown. They need to try and destroy this, and it's being defended by Kesnet, just waiting for them to back out of the site, and now they have to try and fight back in. He takes a lot of damage on that Jiggle Peak. It forces him back, at least for the moment, looking for a repeak. It may not be worth the risk. There's still enough time that they can go for this, but Kesnet lands the shot. The heal is his, and with the spike on the ground, it's left just onto one. Mazin will go down and Kesnet will convert.
Kesnet's really impressing me, whether it's on the Breach. Again, I think he is one of the only players I've seen use Breach almost as a duelist, like, and make it look semi-viable. It's ridiculous, but it has nothing to do with the agent. Please, please do not go into your ranked games and start Breach duelist playing like everyone else in my ranked games, but it is just purely Kesnet. This guy is unbelievable, and here on Arena, he is empowered to just play this sort of aggressive style. That's why we've seen they're going to go for the same setup again, Tom, on this A short hold. Going to be Kesnet pushing, up, covering from afar. And there's a lot of utility used up. I'm surprised. Nagzit's...
Damn.
He goes all the way. I mean, Kesnet decided to back off, and Nagzit was like, "Oh, you're not pushing the shore on me? Oh, cool. I'll just do it alone. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no, I'm good."
Just like, coward.
Yeah. We do not retreat. That's insane, dude. The confidence to go for that fight is actually just off the charts.
But I think this is the style that's working against Furia. Just, they have these plans, they have these ideas, and Crew are just trying to disrupt them. You see it in the last round, using that lockdown right at the last second, just to make sure that, okay, you had this plan to get onto C and get an afterplan. Good luck.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that anymore. You have to push us instead, and that's where Crew have the advantage over Furia. So I think they're doing very well to adapt to some of these positions, and a lot of it comes off this man just taking so much control away that it forces Furia to play a different plan to what they had.
I say things have been impressive so far
Concealment.
over on that
Do not
Crew
be
side,
impatient.
but now they're
Oh my
in a
God,
lot of
two
trouble.
fucking-
Helzik is on the back side. He's got a teammate of Klaus rotating in to
30
help him,
seconds left.
but his teammate only has the Spectre to play with. Not going to be the most helpful in a lot of these fights. Rotates sleeve, Kesnet falling. Shock dart to backside here where Klaus decides to pounce. He gets the first.
Why
Delzik
does he
still
look
dealt
to the other side?
dealt
Oh.
with eventually, and so it's a 3v2.
He just goes through the fucking smoke like it's nothing.
Oh my God. There's only 8 seconds for this spike to be planted, and Nagzit's walked in with the operator, closing out the round and putting Crew somehow up to 6. That is an incredibly confusing round in Furia. Oh man, they've got to be disappointed.
This is the second time, though, that somebody's gone to plant, and it almost seems like the other two players are just napping.
Yeah,
like, because
sure.
we saw it on A site like a couple of rounds ago, where like this round, Zand just, I don't know, he pulls off a miracle. Like, he gets a couple of entry kills, and then it's just this moment, like, they start to plant, and nobody is ready for players to actually push through that smoke. Like, it is an incredibly big risk.
Yes.
I will admit. Like,
Oh.
again, that's something that, if you're planning on trying to do that in your games, it won't work, because you're not going to hit those 2 headshots most of the time. But the fact is, that's exactly what Mizzino did, and that's what won them the round.
Yeah, realistically, when you look at a round like that, you have to say it's not the sort of thing you can plan for, or you should plan, or expect to happen. That those players are going to come back.
Technical pause,
You've got to be
sure.
ready for it. You've got to be ready for anything. in those kind of moments. And really Furia with a little bit of a slip-up are going to have a technical pause, although I'm sure they're going to be happy enough to take a moment to think about what they want to do in this round. They're coming in with Spectres and a Bulldog to fight for the final round of the half. Crew are looking likely to push this up to a 7-5 in favor of them. And considering what the desk were saying, remember, we started this out, and the desk is saying, and I agree with them, that this is a map that for Furia on paper looks far better. It looks like they're home turf, they're comfortable here, and Crew would be on the back foot. But from what we're seeing so far, that doesn't seem to be the case.
I think that is the thing that I've really enjoyed about Crew today, is that whenever it seems like Fury are finally getting into a rhythm, they do something that just completely disrupts every plan that they had.
Yeah.
Be it like forcing them into angles that they just don't want, or like completely dominating their long control so their move to go in a different direction. Like I haven't really had much to falter like the ideas from Furia in terms of what they wanted to do. Like, okay, we have this lockdown on B, which gives us a bit of space on C. Let's go in that direction. Then you just got a player hiding in the corner like, hello.
Yeah.
Like, you're not expecting that, or you're not expecting a counter lockdown placed within the site, and then they're just stood behind a Cosmic Divide going, go on, run through. Go on, go on, do it. Or even in this round where it's like, okay, we've killed everyone on site, just got to get the plant down. They go to plant, someone runs through and kills 2 of them. It's like, those are the sort of plays that it's just frustrating to play against. But unfortunately, it seems like Crew have almost just gone into their element of just like, I'm going to win this round for my team. And it's working.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, look, the ballsy plays. Mazzino pushing out through that smoke was absolutely ludicrous, but the confidence to make those kind of plays is what gives you those advantages. He's paid a price for that, I'll say. Down to 30 HP as he bails on out. Nagzit barely escaping with his life. And with that early pressure, Furia are going to move towards A.
Mazzino wanted the one tap. Seems like the aggression in this round hasn't been working anywhere near as well. 2 players already tagged up, but here comes the Empress.
I like the Cosmic.
Take flight.
Yeah, look, that's completely stopped them. They don't feel comfortable pushing through that Cosmic Divide. You have a Rain on the other side for sure. A lot of control. So it's just going to be a rotate back, or at least they're going to fake that out. Of course, steps don't matter at this point. That wall's going to block it off. They can just start to sprint until the Sova pushed into the corner. The question is, do they check Delzikit right up close? They've blinded him. They know that he's around here.
Yeah, but that was a deep flash. They might think he's a little bit further back. It does seem like QZK is trying to check these closer angles. He's heard the reload and almost get caught jumping up.
30
Delzik,
seconds
though,
left.
just still holding that ground. They'll win the duel eventually. Now, they've actually decided to bypass him. Just go straight back through, but they do not expect Klaus to just be waiting here. A second player on the peak is Kesnet, whose Empress may have dissipated, but he has not. And it's left all onto Mazid, trying to hold on 1v3. It's going to be a 7-5 scoreline in favor of Crew, who fight back strong in this half.
Yeah, altogether a very, very competitive half. We have to keep in mind Crew won the pistol round to start this off. They got their 2-round lead, and that is just a boost of rounds into the half, and they end up 2 ahead at the end. This is literally as tight a game as you can realistically expect. I would say this is almost a more even score than 6-6, which is a funny thing, but when you consider how the pistol and the follow-up works, it's when it comes to the buy rounds, I'm very impressed with what we're seeing here.
Well, let's see if the desk are feeling the same way. We're going to chuck it back over and be back after the half.
It's not quite how math works, Mitch, but I appreciate the sentiment. It is a very, very close matchup between these 2 squads here on Haven, 7-5. Just a 2-round differential with Crew, though, in the driver's seat, Potter.
They are in the driver's seat, and you know, we talked about Klaus, the Sentinel, the Killjoy. And I mean, on the attack side, he was fantastic. Those Killjoy ultimates were so crucial, but on the defense as well, he just allows the freedom for his players to just freely move around. You talked about the long C push, Jess. Yep, they did it. Not only that A main control consistently pushing forward, Klaus being that solid anchor at B, and it's the Killjoy way, right? Just all that info, the turret, the alarm bot, giving you that sort of breathing room to be able to play a little bit on the back lines, and Klaus did it beautifully.
I wanted to know how Crew was going to adapt to Furia's best map. I was like, what are you going to put on the board for me? Are you going to go aggressive? Are you going to go passive? We've seen them adapt to Furia before. They decided, well, you really suck with your timings on attack. We'll wait it out. We'll bait it out. We'll see what we can do. And some of that defensive aggression that I saw throughout that round, I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. I understand, you understand that there's going to be a lot of map to deal with. So that's cool with me. I just don't know the longevity of it into this second half.
We got a trio of players there, sporting 11 kills, Klaus, Nagzet, and Kesnet on the side of Crew. So definitely leading their their team into a comfort zone. But I do want to recognize what the casters were talking about, kind of that their ability to disrupt the flow of Furia's play, right? Every time Furia felt like they were in a comfortable position, okay, we finally got in control of the site. Something happened, and Crew's able to find 1 or 2 frags that you wouldn't think are possible.
Yeah, and it's those pre-takes, right? They've got the info in that mid-round. They're able to make those early rotations. How many times did we see them flooding through that Astra smoke at C? One by one, they never allowed the Furia guys to actually get the spike down, get into those comfortable post-plant positions so that they can actually utilize their utility and make that post work, right? So certainly for Crew, they were thriving in that chaos.
Well, these two teams are currently enduring a marathon of a series, but there's one final sprint left. We'll see which one of them can kick it home here in the second half as we return to Mitch and Tom.
It is the final half, likely, of one of these teams at this event. One of them is going home after this. I don't want to see either of them go home. Honestly, it's been such an enjoyable series that it's sad that one of them has to take the hit. One of them, I believe, will go through to take on Sentinel. So it's not the greatest prize in the world for winning out this match, but it's one that both teams want desperately.
Most definitely, yeah. It's very strange to think the level of play that we've seen, and we've got to send one of these teams home. I'm heartbroken, but it has to be someone. Crew on 7 to close out the half. 5-5 when it comes to buy rounds.
Look at that food.
That's what I was saying, Dash, but you know, it is what it is. This pistol's going to be important as well, just to give Fury the way back in if they win on this defensive side. Look at how slow Crew are playing, though, Tom. They are spread out into a default, holding for any sort of aggression, and it's going to be a game of chicken. Who's going to make that move first?
It seems like, at least from a defensive standpoint, they're expecting this to be some sort of mid-play. You got 4 players around B and, of course, the garage door. That's also where a lot of their utility is. So it almost looks like a hard read into what Crew are going to do. And for now, at least, it's wrong.
Yeah, you can see that this is a hard retake as well from Furia because they expect it to be that mid-play. They're not even going to be on the side of A. So as Crew walk on in, it is a free plant. They'll use up a little bit of utility on the way through, but without having to take any fights, they still have their shock dart afterwards. The heals up on Kesnet. See how that plays out now as the retake will be mounted by Furia. They're still a little bit away from it, though, because they got a couple players who need to rotate into position.
QZK is about to... Well, he has to pull out a God Flash here. There needs to be something that blinds half of the team, because getting back into this site looks like an impossibility, and he's already dead. That was the one piece of utility they had getting back in, other than just Jet dashing through. And although the trades are coming thick and fast, they need to pick up the pace a little bit, push through from Klaus, exit
so
with a
fucking
triple,
amazing.
and it is Crew to take themselves a larger lead. That's both pistols now, Mitch.
Yeah, with both pistols under your belt, it's tough to lose a game, especially one that's been this close so far on a map that's as even as Haven. You remember back in the day, Tom, we used to go through like Season 2, Season 1 probably as well. It was like every game on this map was OT.
Yep.
But you win both pistols, and that stat changes around a little bit. Yeah, I am, Tom. We don't need to go there.
It is a wonder that you're not the one considering.
I need something to drink.
Got a lot of 17, 15s in there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We do love a good OT, Tom. Especially because they were deciding maps a lot as well. It's even better. A lot on the line, as it is here. With Crew coming in on a force buy, obviously, they've got their Spectres to play with. Furia, I've got full classics. It's a full eco from this team, and they're going to try again to group up and use their numbers to their advantage. There's a few players up close, but just enough for them to win out these fights. Oh, no! Delsic went down to the classic for that peak.
Delsic 100% was like, we've killed 3. There's no way there's more. And then he starts reloading, and it's like, oh god, this is a problem. Yeah, 2 kills already. This is a massively successful round considering that they only had classics. I would expect nothing from that sort of round. So I like that sort of stuff. A little gimmick coming out from Furia, not something that will change the outcome of the round, but now they can actually look to try and do even more damage with a couple of Spectres. I imagine the chances are they're just going to try and hold players in, and Exit, he's going to have to fall off the angle here.
He's even using his dash to get on out. Both players are spotted. Spike is planted way too open for this to be a problem. Kesnet is on the other side of the map. I mean, that bloke he's searching for them on split at this point, but he's managing to make it back eventually. It looks like there won't be too much of a threat to the round. Indeed, it is a solid round from Furia nonetheless. The fact that they've killed 2 players, a lot of the time you're going to have some guys who stick
He
down
wants the
on, like,
orb. Look at him. Oh, he's actually going to go down. That's what you get, Kesnit. He wanted that ultimate orb so bad, that extra kill, that he ran all the way around and then still loses the duel. I don't even believe that on the other side they were even expecting anybody to take a duel at that point.
You expect Mazen to still be close, right, though? Because he only picked up a Spectre. He wants to die to that spike or to the players afterwards. That is a hyper-aggressive exit. 9-5 now, playing out pretty much exactly as we wanted, or we expected it to. Here's the chance for Fury, though. They're up against the lower buy. Like, these guys didn't come in with, like, ghosts or anything like that. So
dropped him a Spectre. He did that, and they're just like, okay, you can still have the Spectre.
It's Kesnit.
I know, but...
It's Kesnit. He could throw the weapon off the map. You'd still donate another one to him, and that's why he comes in swinging onto Khalil, and they've double opened it. That
This
is,
aggression,
honestly,
dude.
It's disgusting how much better Crew have gotten in the last few months. That's such a well-timed push in. How many times have we seen it from Naxit? Cloudburst down, dash in.
Yeah.
They're looking at him, but they can't see exactly where he's gone, and his teammate comes in and takes them down.
It was like they're spamming the smoke.
Yeah.
And then it's almost just like that panic of, like, you know, the to be continued meme, where it's just like, and then Kesnit peeks, it's like, do.
It's like you start spraying that gun, and you're like, oh no, wait. I know what they're about to do.
They went into a save. They're like straight away. The second that happened, they were trying to hold on to rifles, and they've already lost another player. Naxit has traded out a rifle, which honestly, they're going to have a perfect rebuy in the next round anyway, Crew.
And Blade Sword.
They could lose every player here, and they'll still be able to buy. So if they can take away any of the guns from Furia, it's worthwhile.
This is an absolute disaster for Furia if they don't manage to save these guns. And they are in a lot of danger. 1 second left on the clock. It looks like they're going to get away with it. Crew on double digits, and I can hear them getting loud behind me. They are ecstatic. They are excited. And of course, in the background, they haven't even needed to call in
fuck was
Owner
that?
yet. The Meg coming in, the big shark in the water, but he's not going to be needed just yet because it's just plain sailing for
This
Crew.
motherfucker just
I was
running
walking
gun.
around, I saw the man face to face, and by that, I mean I was looking up about 4 feet. By the
Owner.
Well, I was talking about
You're
Carlo.
Carlo, yeah.
Yeah.
Carlo.
No, if I was 4
9
feet smaller than Owner, I'd be lying on the ground.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, Tom, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Listen. Well, we're going to have that timeout called eventually, so it looks like Owner's going to be able to have a chat with the boys, as is Carlo. The one calling for that pause. It's definitely time for discussion over on Furia because they have got a couple of problems here.
But that is the thing. This is what Crew does. They'll come into a matchup, we'll be like, this Brazilian team's looking really good.
Yeah.
And then they eliminate them. And they have done that multiple times now. They've eliminated Sharks. They did it previously last time with Vivo Keyed.
Yeah.
And now they're looking to do it with Furia.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what Crew does. So yeah, this is why when we talk about South America, we're always going to be talking about Crew because they always seem to knock out one of the Brazilian teams every single time.
Yeah, I got to say, incredibly impressed with their performance so far. Furia's timeout's coming to an end, so Owner's finishing up his final motivational words, although I imagine you've already got Crew in a pretty good position. They're pretty happy right now. They're not feeling like they're the expendables unless it's in the sense that they're the heroes of this story.
Every time. Every time. To be honest, it's not a bad comparison. Like, I wouldn't mind that comparison, although need to lose a few pounds.
Yeah, I think we both do.
Oh, let's go.
Okay. Well, that's a good start. I don't know what was said. I don't know what words were uttered by the coach of Furia, but if it was peek mid and kill 2 people, it's a brilliant plan. I'm not sure it's one they'll be able to repeat too often, and they've got to be careful because Mizzino has taken quite a lot of control. A battle of the spam, which results in barely any damage at all.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is a strong round for Furia. They are getting away with this one almost flawlessly. A fight will be put up by Klaus and
This wasn't a buy.
He's no stranger to picking up 3 kills here or there, but he's going to need to find 4 if he wants to defeat this Furia side that, as you said, Tom, came in with pistols and walk out with rifles.
I want to know what Carlisle said. Can we get that footage?
I reckon good chance it was in Portuguese, so I'm not sure
there's
you'd be able
plenty
to
of people
understand
here who can speak Portuguese. Get Leah to
it.
translate
Now you're asking someone to translate
Yeah,
it as well.
Leah can do it, you know?
Oh, wow. Fly just went right past my
See,
face.
even the fly is telling you to be quiet.
That freaked me out.
I want to know what he said. It must have been inspirational. It was probably life-changing. Like, look how much of a difference it's
30
made to this
seconds
round.
left.
They just went in with pistols and a single rifle and just absolutely owned. Now, there is actually a chance here for Klaus. He's into a 1 versus 3 scenario. He's baited out the plant.
What the fuck was that?
Actually goes back for it just as NZR peaks. 10-6, Furia, if anything, back in.
Yeah, I feel real bad every time I look at your side of the desk, Tom, because, like, I don't know, I must have sweaty hands. I'm just, like, coding the table. I look at yours, I'm like, oh, this is normal, don't worry. I look at Tom's, it's clean.
Do we know who's casting next? 'Cause
I pity them.
That's who I really
Let's get
feel
this
sorry
place
for.
wiped down. Disinfected. I mean, but in all fairness, it is being disinfected.
That is
because
true.
It's for obvious reasons. 10-6. Yeah, I think for Furia, they're going to face off against a lockdown this round, which doesn't necessarily worry them because NZR has got that Hunter's Fury to deal with it. So shouldn't be too much of an issue. Also means he can use up those shock darts in the early round, although they won't find much.
Yeah, they've spotted a turret. They also had a grav well to try and pull any players in. This is a very fast-paced mid-take. They have basically just destroyed every single piece of utility that was in mid for Furia. And they've lost nothing for it. They just ran up there, made some noise, and looked to place down more stars just to try and hold them back. This has nothing to do with the plan. Again, it links back to exactly what Crew have been doing throughout the match, which is just making a lot of these rounds really uncomfortable for Furia. The fact is, they're now having to dedicate more players into B than they ever wanted to in this round, just because that utility isn't there anymore.
That's some mind games by Crew. They're playing this one perfectly, and they're even ready for Kesnet to be trapped in the corner. Another duel going their way as NZR comes back towards the A site. But even still, Crew have not pushed in. They are biding their time, waiting for a mistake to be made. And Klaus won't be able to get the flank play in, unfortunately.
He faked it.
Ooh.
What a funny thing.
Oh, it's a bait.
Here.
It is a big bait.
30
Look, they
seconds
already
left.
start rotating. NCR, he's making a move. He's going to be caught in the open, but
Oh shit, let's go.
the thing is, they played him perfectly. He was in the open, but if he can keep hitting shots like that, it doesn't matter at all.
That's incredible. I mean, sometimes you can set up the round perfectly. You can do everything right. 13 seconds left. That Hunter's Fury is looking for them, trying to stop the plant from coming through. It's going to find the tag, but they can't deny it fully. Spike has been planted. Damage done to Delzik at least. It's not the toughest of retakes from Furia, really. A lot of the dangers are gone, and they've already managed to deal with Klaus.
Exit, Delzik though is still
Gone.
standing. They brought this back into
Oh,
contention.
default,
down
default.
to 1 versus
Default!
2. Delzik gets the timing on the peak into just 1. QCK looking to try and face off against him, and he will keep them alive again. As you said, it didn't look like the toughest of retakes, but the result is very different indeed.
Convincing stuff there. Furia getting in with the 1 player left alive. But look, at least they've got Seekers out of it as well. 10-7, 3 between them. And I gotta say, if you're Furia right now, that round win, it has just completely motivated you. Sure, it is super close, but for players like NZR, why do I keep messing that up? He is now gonna be fired up coming into any of these future duels. And he
Let's
has
go.
just saved the team. QCK clutches it. And we talked about when you're behind, on paper, winning a round convincingly is the best way to get back into the game. But I'll tell you from experience, those clutches are what propel you forward because they don't get your economy fired up.
Experience.
Well, from experience listening to the team,
Okay,
you know?
okay.
Or on the opposite way, having Logan 1v4 with a sheriff. You know, that will motivate a team to bounce back into the game. It fires you up more than, hey, look, we destroyed them. We won convincingly. Everybody got a kill. Team ace. You know, that feels good.
He actually
but a
lives
clutch,
in your head rent-free, doesn't he?
man, not a day goes by I don't think about Logan. I'll tell you that. Logan and his sheriff, it's a nightmare.
But yeah, I
So
think
1v4, Tom.
that's the thing. Again, we're looking at a round where I'm sort of watching the side of Crew and saying, you know what, you played that perfectly. Like, other than the fact that those 2 duels don't go your way, again, they get rid of all of the utility in B. They bait out a rotation with the lockdown. The move starts to come through from NCR. What does he do? He pops the 2 players' heads as he's out of position. Like, he's aware that they could push that angle, but he was like, okay, they've locked down. They're obviously going in the other direction. They even break the turret to almost try and bait them in. It's unfortunate for Crew, because those are the sort of scenarios they're now going to be talking that over and thinking, like, what did we do wrong? Well, realistically, not a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. I think that a round like that, they played them like a fiddle, and yet still they
lost.
just got destroyed because someone steps up, an individual performance. These are the sort of things that you have to account for.
They're going in hot.
You look at how you've lost some of those rounds. Sometimes it's just a write-off. And it's
They are going in hot.
looking to take things into their own hands. Nags, it's already
He's
moving
gone.
towards the site, but he'll be shut down by Zand. A nice opening for the Furia side. The push hasn't ended just yet. Crew
Oh, he
is looking
whiffed.
to come into this site, and oh no, a missed shot on backside. What? What's going on?
What?
Still alive. He actually gets another with the no scope. I don't know how Zand lived that long, but he's made this one workable. Mazin, though, getting tagged up by the drone.
Oh my god, he
He
tagged.
still gets hit by Mazzino.
Oh, he's
gonna
gone.
hold that angle.
He has a star, man.
Opportunity, and Kesnet will close out the round. Again, a weak purchase. Again, a change of pace. The fact is, they were relying on a Blade Storm there, and it did nothing.
It did nothing, and the round still goes their way, right? Just that blitz out a couple seconds after. Great shot by Zam, by the way. And that kind of screwed up his entire plan of holding down that long angle. He had to bail back, play to the backside. Looked like he got caught in a bit of utility as well. Was it like a trailblazer or something? Like he jumped back down. He was hovering in the air. He looked kind of confused. Still got away with a third kill, but it was not enough this time around. Zan's been impressive. Now he's going to have a Blade Storm, and he's around B to start this round off. Furia going all in on this a little bit. They're dedicating their economy to it. They don't want to allow Crew to push up to 12 and have to fight for OT.
That's the thing, and they'd have to fight for OT likely with some very, very weak weaponry. So
Yeah.
this really is the be-all and end-all for Furia's tournament. So they need to make something happen here. Again, we're going to see this early presence in, and that's all the utility gone. This is the only goal of this push, by the way. For anybody wondering, they are not looking for kills to take any control. They just want all of that utility gone, and then they walk away.
It's really nice early round. Honestly, just to bait out as much of it as possible. It's one of the main critiques we have when you go for those
I need
fast
to grab
rounds.
something to drink.
You leave your opponents with so much to work with. That flash on mid hasn't seen anything, but the drone coming on through hasn't destroyed it. Got rid of the Lear as well, and the recon. That's great work from Mazin, who even ends up with a kill from this situation. If they push in, there's two players to fight them. That is ultimate denial. 3, in fact. That's ultimate denial of garage control.
The thing is, though, they've got to be careful elsewhere on the map. That heavy garage presence has left some openings.
30 seconds left.
One of them is towards that C site. Now, it does look like they're going for a retake, and a lot of that comes down to the fact that they do have a lockdown available for them. So if they can hold on to garage, as you can see, it now becomes pretty awkward. Now, by the looks of it, Crew are just going to stick the plant, get themselves into an after plant position and just fall back, or at least you'd think they'd fall back. One player still holds.
Kesnet was going to be in trouble there. I don't think he would have gotten to the lockdown in time on the side. Oh no, he's out of ammo. Zan down to the classic, and his teammates will save the day. The spray away from Klaus isn't enough, and Furia save themselves what would have been a terrible situation if they lost this round, as they will get up to 8. My God, what a round.
I like the fact that by using that lockdown, Furia knew that there was a gap. And because that's always the thing, like, if you're going to be placing it in a random spot, sometimes you leave a gap by accident, that player exploits you. This was clearly something that they thought about prior to the round. Because you see, the second that gap is left, they know that Naxit is there, and they put a stun. And obviously when you're stunned and using an operator, you're in a very, very bad spot.
Probably
So
not. I have
that's
to
why
wake up
we
early.
did see one of the most awkward battles in history, but at the same time, that was purely calculated by Furia in the
Maybe
retake,
1 or 2
and then it
games.
just comes down to winning the remaining duels, which were towards long.
Oh my God, this is going to be a fast round from Crew. They have full committed towards this C site. Going to be moving in, reconning up close. Hunter's Fury even thrown in there to try and clear out some of these angles, and well, they've got the site for free. It looks like Furia, even without having that lockdown, are content to play the hard retake, and after the success of the previous round, why not?
Yeah, this time they don't have a lockdown though. In fact, they don't have as much at all. In fact, there's one on the other side looking to try and just hold them back for extra time. This is a round where there's investment here for Crew just to try and utilize those ultimates. Kesnet, he gets the timing perfect on that peak. Watching the player destroy the lockdown, he goes for the kill instead. Still though, the weaponry advantage is with the side of Furia. It's just the personnel. They need to start clearing out these players. 3 currently in.
Oh!
And QCK! See you later, Crew. This is another round for Furia.
That's unbelievable. They didn't have any smokes bar. The Cloudburst going back in for it. There's 4 players down on long. It looks like it's all secured. I thought the main threat was going to be that operator on Zan, picking off a couple of them as they went out for duels. And instead, it's QCK with an utterly unbelievable play. Here's Kesnet, obviously trading out that lockdown as if it's a player. But QCK, I want to see this. Oh, that is
Wow.
disgusting.
He was ready for the last one as well.
Oh, he was, yeah. Yeah. I'm fired up, man. Those kind of rounds, they really get you going. Now we're looking at 11-9, and what was previously a pretty bad situation now becomes, for Furia, now becomes doable to the extent that we're even going to have Owner coming in and calling that pause for the side of Crew.
Yeah. I love the fact as well that we're seeing composure again from those young players on Furia. Like, these are traits that I don't think we talk about enough when it comes to professional esports in general. But when you have someone who is, what, 18 years of age, being able to hold on in those sort of scenarios, because that triple kill was fairly necessary.
Yeah.
Like, he was holding the most important angle. We've seen Khalil as well also have some high impact over the last few rounds. They're not crumbling, they're not falling apart when they're this far down to a team that has more experience on this international stage. So yeah, as said, no matter which team goes out today, I've been impressed by the performance, and considering the two other teams they have in their group, I think it's going to be well, one of them's already through, but it's going to be very difficult for whoever goes through to get out, but I don't want to take anything away from these two teams.
The funny thing is we talked about them not having a lockdown on Furia, and it almost looked like they did. Just because Crew were like, hey, let's go towards long. It literally worked exactly the same as if they had a lockdown to play with. One of the curious things, you know, the fact that Owner called for that fast and furious strategy, something he must be a fan of. But I think the fact that that pace got them to the site, it identifies a bigger problem with those C-site post plans. I don't think we're going to see them go towards that site in the early round again.
No, it looks like, especially now that they actually have some proper weaponry, they're going to try and slow things down at least a little. Garage control, again, challenge 4. Destroying some of that early utility once more, but Delzic's actually fighting this. Considering he's the man that has a lot of the stars, it's
Why would he
surprising, and
fucking
you know
switch
what?
his gun there,
He's only
man?
gonna get a trade.
I mean, yeah, to fucking...
Oh no, that recon is so dangerous. The wall is made of paper, and Kesnet almost ends up falling. Shock dart for backside. They know Mazino is there. They blinded him up. They wanted to deal with him. That operator is going to be retrieved. Really want to get a kill back here to return that and put it back on an even footing. But
Look
Furia
at the spike.
not giving them that opportunity. Why is Klaus here? That's...
Wait, what?
How is he dead? Isn't
How?
there an alarm
Yeah.
bot?
How?
He
Why?
must have... Did they smoke the alarm bot and he walked past? Or is there just a gap big
I
enough
don't
that
think
he
there's
can
a
get
big
hit?
enough gap. I think he'd be caught by that.
Yeah,
going
so I
through.
think they must have smoked the alarm bot and then walked through, which, hey, brilliant. I don't think there's any way. But the problem is, even if he gets a kill and gets
30
traded, he's
seconds
going to put
left.
the spike in the worst possible spot. And actually, NCR is still watching for this. It doesn't matter. He'll get the kill. And that's all that was really wanted by that side of things.
Oh, Zand pushing up is going to be caught by this turret. He's got to destroy that, make him a little bit worried about that flank play. He's going to dedicate some of the resources elsewhere. But
What?
Oh, Mazino doesn't quite realize there's a second player there. It's a little bit awkward, but look at who's walking through the doors as we speak. He's being spotted. The spray is good, and he'll take him down as well, leaving Zand to clutch this with an operator. Well, Tom, his chances aren't looking too good.
Oh my
Let's
goodness,
see one more
this
round.
round was won by Klaus and Klaus alone. I still don't know, as said, did they put a smoke down onto it to bypass that position? If so, that is brilliant. Maybe that garage play was actually just a distraction, because I was watching that at the beginning and thinking, what is going on for him to be there? But yeah, the opening up, the rest of his players just being around the angles to sort of catch players as they look to rotate. And as we sort of mentioned so many times, the disruption of Crew, maybe better than any other team we've seen in this tournament. The amount of times they have caught Furia with a play that you just wouldn't expect a team to have to. He had the spike, for God's sake. Like, the gall of the man to do that is ridiculous.
It is absolutely insane. I feel like Crew have just got a better read over the game than they've ever had before. Their rhythm is perfect. That was a wallbang. Kesnet's 5 HP. I actually didn't connect onto Mazino, but Kesnet got shot in the ankle. He is very lucky to be alive.
That is a lightning fast shot from Zand and could be the difference maker. Now I was going to say they still have a decent buy here, but I'm looking at Khalil just having a classic.
Yeah. Didn't notice that before. Not sure what's
Oh,
going
he's
on
dead.
there. Got shock dart.
Because it was so low in an aggressive position, the shot dart on the other side actually does a lot of damage onto Zand. They're going to have the information of where these players are. The fact is, though, that opener could be everything, especially if they manage to retrieve the weapon. Now, they haven't actually been able to rotate over just yet, And it seems like Khalil is almost just relying on this lockdown to try and delay them out of B if that's the direction they go. And I will say that is where we currently have a push coming forward from the side of Crew.
30 seconds left.
Look in through garage already. This is a little bit dangerous.
Here.
Klaus has been so good at sneaking up behind them and finding the gaps in that defense. On the backside, Nax, it's about to be challenged by a
Kill him!
player. You won't expect that, and well, you won't be able to take him down. 15 seconds left. In through he goes, but Khalil takes him down. That's going to be the operator retreat, trying to harass in the back lines. Klaus will not be able to do all too much, and that defender Killjoy
But it's
comes
C.
into effect. The plant has been secured.
What is the
over
fucking...
towards this C site. Of course,
Oh my god, he's going
blocking the
CT.
sound, allowing them to get in there, but it's still a 2 versus 3, and quite a late flank by Mazzino, but the timing actually might be perfect. There is absolutely
Holy
no
fuck,
way
they're
that
going
they
to get
expect him to
absolutely
be here. He's got
destroyed.
them all lined up. This is perfect. Mazzino takes the first. A little bit of trigger discipline maybe would have helped out there. Now this is in a little bit of danger.
Yeah, they still have the pull though ready to try and get anybody off the spike. So the fact is it's going to buy a lot of extra time. This duel is absolutely everything. Xander's going to win it, and now it comes all onto Mazzino, but he has dropped the man who was on the spike. There is nothing that can be done
They
here.
got it.
Crew know already that they've won it. Delsic was already celebrating before the spike even went off. Crew, they do it again. They are the team that knocks out every Brazilian the second it happens, and you can see the celebrations from them as they will go through to fight the Sentinels.
What an incredible performance and turnaround from this team. Looking better than they ever have, but doing the same thing, knocking out Brazilians. That's what Crew is all about. Incredible series from them here today. And I have to say, I don't think Sentinels are a weak team by any means, but I think they should be careful of not underestimating Crew.
Yeah, it's going to be the Red Bull clutch to close things out. This round in itself was just so back and forth, and that's the thing I want to say about this Furious squad. I have thoroughly enjoyed watching them throughout this tournament. They lose 2-1 to Sentinels, they lose 2-1 to Crew. They are not the sort of squad that just went out of this without a fight, and I think that's always been the thing with a lot
Who's
of
next?
regions that we sort of talk about, like, oh, they kind of sort of came, they turned up, they went home. It's not been the case here for Furia, and I am actually devastated for them because
Who's
I
next?
do think that there are plenty
Valorant
of teams in this tournament
Esports.
that they could have beaten. It's just unlucky that they face off against South American counterparts who are always so solid in these scenarios. And
Next, Cloud9
Not
versus
the
Full
easiest of
Sends.
tournament
Oof,
runs.
I want to
mean,
see
this is where
Cloud9.
Vision
Fuck, man, I have to
Strikers will
sleep.
be like, yeah, just let me play the
It's in
violin
10
for you
minutes.
real quick. What is a tough bracket, but yeah, I have to say,
Okay. Woo! Did I finish all my food? No, not all. But I'm already fucking full.
Match found.
I'm literally in a
Deathmatch.
food coma here.
Warm up.
Fuck, why was I shooting? That guy has to be so mad.
If they try something, I'll see it.
He's by my side.
Fight.
Where are you?
Where are you? He actually killed me, wow.
Enemy down.
I whiffed so much.
Eagle-eyed.
Dominating.
Poison's gone. Put down. Erased.
Ay, yo. That's unlucky.
Dominating.
I got lost there. I I need to stop looking at my spray. Or at my fucking crosshair. It fucks me up.
Breached. Hostile removed. Goodbye. Four out of 5.
So lucky.
Ten kills remaining.
One down. No harm.
He's mad. Why would I do such a thing?
Three out of 5.
Five kills remaining.
Oh, he's so mad.
Ouch.
One kill remaining.
No, he's going to win.
1 minute remaining.
Knock knock.
Oh my god, that was him. No, that was not him. That was him.
That was fun. Again?
Again?
Match found. Deathmatch. Warm up.
Catch your breath. Not that I need to, of course.
Fight.
Let's get this done. Bad guy down.
What the fuck, man? Why is he in cubby? And the other guy was looking at him.
Cancelled.
Oh yeah, I'm about to play this. Okay, what do I? Why would you do that to her, man?
Dominating.
Got it. 2 times in a row.
kills remaining. Kills remaining.
Couldn't see her. Ten kills in a row. It's
One kill
impossible.
remaining.
I should really play against Spawn. This is all just a practice.
Match found. Death match. Warm up.
I made a friend and he died.
Please do not mistake my smile. I take this all very seriously.
Fight!
Focus now. Eyes off me.
Don't fucking do it, man. Hey, I warned you, do not do it, my dude. Oh, I whiffed so hard.
Too slow. So close.
Oh, dude, he was underground. Oh my goodness.
You knew. That's three.
He moved. guy's head? Where do my bullets go fucking... What? Oh.
Away with you.
I got so lucky, this bitch here. It's whiffing. Whiffing. I was too high there. I don't know the... Ah, Moeders. Quick slut.
Kills remaining.
Ow! Shot first. I'm like trying to place my fucking keyboard in the right way.
5 kills remaining.
Keep playing with the position of my keyboard.
Remaining.
Oops, that's C's go.
Already painting for Leaf, and okay, yes, Jet plays and everything like that. When he's put in a clutch situation in the late rounds, the man can only, and I mean only, win 1v1s. He has never won a 1v2, a 1v3, so on and so forth. The man only has the opportunity. I'm looking here. 0 wins, 13 losses, 1v2. 0 wins, 12 losses, 1v3. 0 wins, 7 losses, 1v4, and 0 wins, 6 losses on the 1v5.
Well,
I mean, what?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. We're going to have to see, right? It's a totally different opponent. It's a totally different day. This is one of the biggest stages that any of these players have ever played on. So let's hear from Xeppaa for what it's like to step onto it.
I'm Xeppaa from Cloud9. I play the Duelist show, Flex Agent, and here today. The feeling's always great to play other people. The stage is obviously a big difference from what we usually play. I mean, it was the first time playing on LAN. Really appreciate everybody that tunes in and supports us, and glad to have you guys, and keep watching us.
Now, Xeppaa was a top performer for them in that last series. Excited to see him step back out there with some Raze play today. Let's start talking maps.
Sure.
What are we thinking here? For a team like Full Sends, right? They have a whole mountain to climb here. So what map is going to set them up the best to do that?
I wrote in my notes Haven. I mean, just because, again, that Copium, again, that VOD, the first 6 rounds, I think they go back at it again one more time. You know, I know the latter end of that half, it didn't work out, but their initial game plan, John Olsen, he certainly looked comfortable. He was finding those aggressive picks. Take it back to Haven, man.
I want to see Ascent, personally, just because if I put the ranking of the maps of like what I expect Full Sense to be most comfortable on, Ascent is the one I rank up in there. I know Split is close and everything like that, but that's where I'm throwing it at the moment.
Yeah, but Cloud9, it's kind of their go-to band. Maybe they fool around with it this time and let it float, but I think Cloud9 might just take that out first.
Oh, okay. They're like, we did not like what we saw against Fnatic. They're like, we ain't about that life. Get rid of Fracture, which is sad because I wanted to see more of that, baby. I want to see more different regions, and I said I wanted to see them on Ascent, and C9's like, we take away that good map.
Removing it from the pool, but that does mean that the Haven is still open, like we talked about, and so we'll have to see.
What about Split? Hit the Split.
There's your answer. What about Split? They want it.
There you go. That's what I expected. If it wasn't going to be like Bind for me or Ascent, then it was going to be Split, and well, they're going to pick that one straight up, and that's a comfortable map for them.
It is, and it's very interesting, right? Because Cloud9, they had an okay showing on it. In fact, I think they won.
That's the one they won.
Right. That's the one map that they won.
Out.
So that's a good sign to me, actually. In fact, because that
like the Cloud9 team, I actually don't know. I don't know the Cloud9 team.
Cloud9 showcase that they can win on this
but
map.
I am very interested in what they do. I don't know about Full Sense. I think Full Sense is a Southeast Asian
at this tournament so far. Breeze will be the one to follow.
Okay, that's a good pick there from C9. And the reason I say that, I got a mixed bag result. I'm holding up a bag right now. I'm looking at it in Full Sense. I'm flipping a coin and I'm wondering whether they're performing well on Breeze or they're performing poorly. And well, the last time they played it, let us not forget, they got smashed 13-5 by Vision Strikers. So it's going to be a nice little time there for Cloud9.
Yeah, for sure. This is a punish pick coming out for Cloud9, and they've got that sort of luxury, right? I mean, the fact that they're using their ban on Ascent, one of the most commonly played maps across the pool, that shows that C9 have a bit of luxury coming into this veto. So certainly they get to just pick and choose whatever their strengths are, and in this one, it's a weakness for Full Sense.
Interestingly, Haven gets taken off the table by Full Sense here.
Okay.
All right. I mean, do you get rid of like the lesser or the greatest evil? Like, is Full Sense turning around there and going, you know what, we like the map, but Cloud9 also does pretty good on that map, so do we just get rid of the greater evil and go with what's left?
Yeah, they just want to throw that kind of random card out the window. And, you know, another thing is I believe all 3 of these maps are maps that Cloud9, there's a lot of video footage and film out there for Full Sense to just write down those notes and write exactly how Cloud9 like to approach these.
That's a really good point. If we do make it to that 3rd map, it will be Icebox, just to bring map vetoes to a close here with Bind having been removed by Cloud9.
I mean, the only like negative I have about Icebox for Cloud9, and they brought it very close with Fnatic the other day, so that's not a bad map for them, was obviously when they went up against 100 Thieves, they also brought it close there. So when I'm looking at this map veto, I'm thinking that no matter what Full Sense had to have done, if they hadn't have got rid of Fracture, if they had have got rid of maybe another strong map for them, it wouldn't have mattered because there are so many maps in the map pool that Cloud9 either can bring really good teams close on, or that Full Sense would have not preferred anyway. So it's been a really bad map veto for Full Sense, I feel.
I mean, I think it was going to be a tough map, Vito, regardless,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Coming
yeah.
in, again, in that position of being the underdogs. Split is where it starts. Challenging Cloud9 on a map that they've won is definitely a scary prospect. But if you do, then this whole series is flipped on its head.
It is. And again, going on the foot of Full Sense, having that chance, making this one competitive. Look, they're not facing off against the 200 IQ Vision Strikers who's just going to be constantly throwing perfectly lined up fault lines, perfectly lined up and layered flashbangs, right? Cloud9, they're a little bit more loose. They're not going to play to that extent yet. So I think for Full Sense, they should have those kinds of wiggle rooms within the rounds.
Well, with our maps locked in, we're going to jump to a quick break. And when we come back, it's Agent Select, and then we'll dive right in. See you soon.
Time slows down when it can get no worse. Wishing there was something left to lose.
What is this guy saying? How dare you?
Mi corazón balanceando. Bailar, dame un beso. Bailar, dame un beso. Bailar, dame un beso.
Who the fuck is this?
Bailar, dame un beso. Mi corazón balanceando. Bailar, dame un beso.
Can't wait to beat your shit region again. Oh my god, dude. What is with this guy, man? Yo, I don't like that. Yeah, so we still in this shit. And we play tomorrow. Ascent versus Envy. Ooh, interesting. So Sentinels plays against one of these winners, I guess. Wait, where's Liquid 1?
Welcome back to Champions, where the squads of Cloud9 and Ents are raring and rearing to go. I can hear them all back there. ready to dive into the lobby, so I'm not going to stand in their way. Let's get out there and meet them.
This one is so fucking confusing, the whole standing shit.
Okay, a little bit of flair on both sides here as we step in to that elimination match between Cloud9 and Full Sense.
Oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting that either. I mean, usually, you know, pretty cool, calm, and collected, but they want to bring the spice to this one, and who wouldn't on an elimination match that pushes you forward? Come on, man.
Getting their heads early.
Getting their heads
That's
early.
what that says to me.
Yeah, bust out those cartwheels. You saw James, their coach, in there. Lead by example.
We're going to
It
lose
was
so
all
hard.
business up until that point.
It was
and the
too.
cartwheel came out, and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Completely changed the mood.
My God. I mean, look, that's the kind of thing that you want jumping into this. Whether you're Cloud9 Blue, whether you're Full Sense, because let us not forget that Cloud9 Blue is going up against what I would consider to be an unknown quantity. Okay, yeah, Pot is saying there are some really good ingredients that are ready to be mixed together here for Full Sense. We just haven't seen it, you know, stirred in the pot just quite yet at the right temperature.
Right, you don't want to be caught in the crosshairs of a team when they finally find themselves, right? And
Their final form.
Yeah, that can happen on an international stage. You never know when the beast is going to be awoken, and so definitely jury's out on this Full Sense squad. But if today's their day, it would be, I think, a sorry way for Cloud9 to exit the tournament after having put up such a great fight against Fnatic. It's going to start on Split. It's the one they found success on.
Wait, did they take
against
out
in
Fnatic?
that 13
Where's
to
fucking
11
Fnatic, dude?
Fashion. Let's talk about it. Where did they find success? What was it about that map?
Where
that
is
allowed them to
Fnatic?
take it?
It's gotta be Zeppa, right? I mean,
Oh, they
Lee,
won,
he did
and they
his
won.
job.
Oh,
He
okay,
just
so
didn't
they're
have
good.
the superstar performance that
They're
I'm
good.
used to talking about. So I think Lee
They're in the
He'll do his
quarterfinals.
job. He'll do his due diligence on
Yeah,
that
that's
side,
my
but
team,
Zeppa
baby. Let's
on the Raze, he's a
go.
whole another level on that agent on this map. He's
So Liquid is
comfortable. The
through.
shells, he holds on to it until the very last moment at those small choke points, and he
Yeah,
gets
I'm pro
max
confused with
value
this shit.
out of that piece of utility. So definitely,
Gambit
I
is
said that
through.
Full Sense, they're not going to have to
Fnatic.
deal with
Ooh, EU is
the amount of
through.
utility
Let's
that Mission
go.
Strikers threw at him, because at every facet of the rounds, Raze, she's only got the one paint shells.
Racing through the Prime Gaming Agent Select. We've already got the comps locked in.
You know, it's funny, I have 6 different compositions that Full Sense have ran on this map, and not more than once. They've never stuck with the composition more than once before, and it looks like this will be the one that we're going to be seeing. Chalala on the Cypher is the one I'll be looking to here. We've said this about Cypher players before. In the very previous series, we saw some big Cypher players coming in, so that will be the player I'm looking for, but we wanted the Raze, and we got it on one side only.
On one side only, exactly. And this is actually a pretty significant switch up from the last time that Full Sense played this map in terms of composition. John Olsen hopping from Arena over to a Jet, which means that PTC doesn't get to play that Jet, which he played last time.
Yeah, and I think that's good news for Full Sense, right? Because John Olsen, again, he was the most confident-looking player in that server. The way that he handles certain utility coming at him and the way that he stands his ground, and he just doesn't back down, that is going to mean a lot for Full Sense to get them into the groove of these rounds and find their rhythm. And it's going to be on the back of John Olsen standing his ground.
Well, the teams are diving into the server for our final matchup of the day, and it's my distinct pleasure to hand it over to Riv and Doug, the boys, for the call.
Thank you so much, Dash. Riv, a last chance for the 2 last chance qualifier teams coming out of North America and the APAC region. for it to be settled here. Backs against the ropes. This is as good as it gets.
They know this feeling. They should be able to power through it and bring their best. It's been a long day for all, but when you're ready to play, you're ready to play. Full Sense looks like they came out very stoic, very poised.
Yeah.
The C9 the same. They're really, I thought there was going to be a little bit
Kansas
more
and
between the
Sentinels.
teams. Like, all right, let's bring it.
Yeah.
I think these two are just looking directly
How do
at
you
this
know
game to
Sens?
get the win. No fluff, nothing else.
Well, and look, man, there's no time. You're not really afforded much else, right?
That's
like,
true.
You can't come out of this
Save the energy.
Exactly. Well, like, you can't come out of the gate slow here. You can't afford to fall behind. You can't afford some of those minor mishaps that you may have potentially been allowed at the upper bracket. Like, this is it for two of these teams. And for Cloud9, I think everyone's talked about the possibility and
I hate this
aspirations for them to be tournament favorites going into this thing. And for
Yeah.
Full Sends, you have a chance to shock the world right here.
And I think a lot of people have been shocked already with Full Sense's performance. Even with losing their game, they put up such a strong performance there, even thwarted. And they could give Cloud9 a run for their money. We're going to see it right here. As like you said, C9, the favorites from the region almost, saying, could they win it all? Is Sentinel still there?
Do you
Well,
think he's
we'll have to
good?
work themselves
Everybody
out
here
the
is
lower
good.
bracket. And C9 knows all about lower brackets, from League to Valorant. They do the gauntlet runs.
Right.
So
Otherwise,
maybe-
it wouldn't be
maybe,
here.
The moons are aligning for them in that sense.
They've been here before, and now they're on split. Full Sense starting off on the attacking half. Fault line swing out as Mitch tries to deal some damage, push a couple of members of Full Sense
Shalala.
back, and they've been able to do so. Riv, we've lost already 40 seconds in the round, and we haven't seen much of anything.
Looking again, you know, the Des mentioned a bit. John Olsen back on the Jet as we have a little
Oof,
A
what a
pressure
shot.
here. John Olsen back on the Jet, and PTC goes to that breach from their previous play of how they would have sorted this map out. So a little more utility brought to the squad, but still the opening shots of this man right here, Johnny O, coming up strong.
And it looks like, so Full Sense off of that pick A, they managed to establish heaven control, but the spike never left garage. So
That's true.
Off of Cloud9, they saw that, they started to rotate back. John Olsen now starting to work his way forward onto the site as the rest of Full Sense follows, and Cloud9 have given up space. They're still playing close by, but they're willing to give up the site, allow it to go down, and then they're going to fight for the retake. They've already lost one, 12 seconds left. Gotta get the spike down, they do so.
Where do they decide? They're packed in pretty well to the back.
Oh, it
of
is
the site.
breach.
Utility on the side of
Oh, it is
Cloud9.
breach.
Looks like a few smokes, a bit of that breach.
Oh,
utility
breach.
to get themselves back into the turret for the flank.
Oh, let's
Watson, they're
fucking
gonna have to
go.
watch the
Breach.
flank as PTC could have
Okay,
the
that's
round
one
in his
gone.
hands.
He needs to
Well,
go
the
fast. He
utility-
needs to go
He's
fast.
burned it all at this point, but you're right, the flank is going to be there. Zeta's managed to get 2 kills, but there's PTC. You called it, Riv. He's got 2 in front of him.
Let's
Lamy Snacks
go.
gets the last. Full Sense wins the pistol. This is an excellent start.
Yeah, that match, that round was so good. And again, that's the switch up. A complete paradigm shift as well for the way PTC has to change that. He used to be the Jet on the map. Now he's playing the flank, not the forward player. You have to think about it differently, and the team called this well, played it well. PTC with the comms, play it safe. I'm right behind him. Full Sense grabbed the first round. We'll see if Cloud9 will bring it back. We know they like to force a bit, and it's not going to be one of those situations.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to carry anything into this next round. Cloud9 playing this a bit conservatively, carry out pistols, and see if they can, cause some economic damage, potentially snatch a round back. We'll see how things play out, but Full Sense, this is, again, an excellent start for them to walk away with a pistol. They've got full Spectres and have full armor the entire way, too, and in the previous round, we saw they were much more, they were very slow, right? And it's tough to say much more slow, but they were very slow. They were very methodical in how they approach things, and this time it is a bit of the same. Once again, we're going to find ourselves at about the 1 minute mark in the left in the round before we see much movement forward at all.
And you see how C9 on defense is playing the breach. It flows from left to right, whichever site that Zeta can be at.
Dude, these
with
guys
his,
just
on priority
I
for
like
it.
their setup.
The team will call for him. So you see him now leaning towards A. I like what Full Sense is doing here. You open up mid and see if you can get a peek from Cloud9, playing it very slow and patient here. Just a little bit of util on both sides of the map.
And Superbus is just absolutely littered B with Astra utility, right? Like, you've got stars, you've got smoke, you've got everything. Right now, one of them being the smokes that's denying entry in from defender spawn. So it certainly seems like they want to lean that way. Cloud9 not rotating over quite yet. Full Sense should be able to get onto the site, but you've got Vanity playing in the smoke. He might get a chance at something here if he gets the timing just right. Lamy Snacks unknowingly has the barrel right in his ear. He's able to take Vanity out. Zeta falls as well.
Dude, these guys.
Cloud9,
Oh.
I don't know that they had much of a chance in this round.
Right, the eco kind kind of splits them up a little bit. They did try to rotate
These
back
Thai
to the
guys,
lean
man.
on Zeta. And it looks
They're
like
playing
it
good.
will be the flawless Spectres in and Spectres out from B as they clear out spawn of C9. That's going to be 2 quick ones in for Full Sense. They start off split their map. Pretty good win rate from recency for them. So if they can continue this momentum, this is the map that they love to have control on.
And I think, you know, oftentimes this third round is where we see momentum start to build, right?
Yep.
Like this is where you really have an opportunity to break an economy of your opponents, to snowball things into a pretty considerable lead. So this is where we've actually seen a couple teams struggle in this very moment as well. So we'll see how Cloud9 weather that. Full rifles, light armor on just Vanity. And while Full Suns are still riding this bonus, I like this aggression coming up from Cloud9 towards A here.
Yeah, why not? They haven't really pressured Full Sense yet. The first gun round, why don't they? And Leaf and Zeppa come up big, Doug.
And Full Sense tried pushing into that aggression, and they got punished for it. John Olsen and Superbus have both dropped. Cloud9 with the numbers advantage, and now they peel back a bit, see how they want to reset the situation. The spike is going to rotate back towards mid.
Interesting. He's already in
But
ropes.
here's the thing, like Vanity is set up in a really good spot to it too. You see the setup in B Heaven. There are nano swarms, and then you can play off of the contact from where Vanity is. That's a really good setup.
PTC made it through, and then they're in the strat. Maybe someone peeks me. They don't know. We've kind of encroached on defensive territory, but now that they've moved back into mid, not too much space is taken. A dangerous move by Lammy, but he gets himself in there too. So they have a bit of control over the rotation of the map through mid. Cloud9 doesn't want any of that, though.
Yeah,
They're going to wait for Full Sense to come to them.
And I wonder if we're waiting for Zeta, to get the fault line. It just came online. And if the flash had enough info,
oh boy,
you may have had something going there again. You see Zeta, he's already set up for it. They're just waiting for the cue, right? They're there, and that very well should be it because a couple of kills have been traded. There's a fault line that we were just talking about, pushes them back. The spike, once again, still hasn't made it onto the site, and this time we're down to 15 seconds left.
C9 stack the A site, no utility. From Mitch went off. None of it in heaven with the alarm bot. His turret never pinged anything, even though the Viper wall came up onto B from Lammy Snacks. C9 played the patient game and said, if they're not pushing us, we know they're not B. Let's stack A. Gun round comes into their favor, and this is where you said, Doug, the game can start to take off. So it's good that C9 was able to get a round under their belts.
And I worry, I know it's early, but I worry about how far Full Sends are willing to let a round go. Because if you're willing to play that late in the round, it's because you're messing with people, right? Like, you have to show enough so that you can kind of trick them later on in the round. But if Full Sends aren't showing anything, if they're just kind of sitting back and then they go, you can get figured out very quickly, Rip.
And Zeppa trying to figure stuff out right now. He'll actually see that the Cypher trap was destroyed. You can always consider they're waiting for the flank. They've already left that, but the Roomba gives them enough information. You see the lean from C9 already. Will Full Sense be able to activate this execute fast enough as the Viper wall is up, but they have a hell of a lot of C9 utility to get through.
Gravity Well was used a bit early. The Nanoswarm hasn't. Oh, actually, it just went off. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, observers, for catching that right on time.
Oh, he has him. Okay.
Now Full Sense trying to get
There's
off.
one right under him. He got him.
Mitch still anchoring backside.
Oh.
He moved an inch and he hasn't had to up until now. Leafs able to take one of them back. He's still up in heaven. There's Mitch. We just called on him a moment ago. Tries to and manages to get Cloud9 into a 2v2 in this situation.
Oh shit, there's one backside.
Caught with utility out. Mitch, the anchor, in a position to make a big play for Cloud9. He's in this 1v2
Let's
though.
go.
Superbus wins around for Full Sends.
Quickly taking Mitch to school right at the end there in the 1v1. Doug, all these, I'm pretty sure these are just frag rounds so far. This is a bloody match. The trades are happening, the spike gets downed early, and then the round becomes chaos. Organized chaos, because each person knows what they need to do to get to the win. But we have not seen a full plant be the post-plant execute retake. It has all been firefights from here on out. So we can see how hungry both teams are. You see on the scoreboard right there. 3-1 so far. We're getting to round 5. We'll see if C9 can bring it back into their favor. It's Full Sense. Stop the bleeding right away.
So take a look at weaponry. Vanity has a judge. Mitch has a judge as well. And it's this weird lighter buy because Zeta has a sheriff, which is a frenzy for Leaf, but Cloud9 have a knack for making judges work, particularly Vanity. So we'll see. I want to keep a very close eye on how they position because oftentimes you want to set yourself up in a spots where that judge becomes the difference maker, right? Like you're not putting yourself on poor footing.
So this time they have Zeta over towards B. They're predicting the B fault line into an exec from Full Sense here. So Full Sense may have the read, may have a site. And we'll have to see how Cloud9 finally replies to a full team being in the site.
He's just going straight into sight. Oh, this is amazing.
Gone a bit early. They have 3 ultimates to work with as well. 3 impactful ultimates, no less. They've managed to get onto the site. There's only one left, and that's Lammy Snacks, making sure there's nobody rotating down ramps, which is where Vanity would end up if he continues this route. The Rolling Thunder comes through, and it pushes him all the way back. But John Olsen drops. The Showstopper's going to fall as well. Zappa clearing out space. He goes down. He isn't able to land the shots, but the Spectre does. It's all right. The Judge gets one as well as it all falls down to Superbus to try to make this happen. He's gonna get a chance.
Almost.
Oh my goodness, that would have been something.
Just the lineup, you see it. Unfortunately, one of the members there was just a punching bag for bullets. Took too many, and they're able to fire over each other's shoulder. It definitely got a bit scary on the retake, but C9 still happy with the win there. Nicely done to be able to drop each member and not make it too troublesome after Zeppa's rocket went straight into the wall of screens. So C9 again pull it back into their favor. And Doug, this is where it becomes weird. You have a little money, you spend it, then it gets taken away. The resets back and forth. If nobody gains ground here, we see this going punch for punch almost all the way to your first half score.
Full Sends also, through all of that, only spent one of their ultimates, right? So they still have the Blade Storm, they have it in North left, and now they have the Cosmic Divide in the hands of Superbus to work with. And we see John Olsen's Blade Storm providing no value as Leaf just takes his head off.
Very quick. They tried to get the fault line through as well. A lot of little pre-round things, or start of round things happening, I should say. Cloud9 not falling prey to that. Leaf, we heard Dash talking about it. He didn't have a great game on that Sky 4 split, so let's see if he can pull it back here as he opens up one on the start of this round.
Then flash info gathered mid from Leaf. We talked about statistically his Sky performances have been underwhelming, but he does provide a good bit of value off the utility from the agent alone. That's a pretty good setup that they've got going on in Heaven, but really off of that, Full Sends have made this competitive, they've made this interesting, but Leaf plays the position just right and drops Superbus.
C9 not sure where Full Sense is at the moment. You just saw Guiding Light go up top, but they know where Lammy Snacks is. Little gravity well sucks him in for a shot for Mitch there.
30
and
seconds
now
left.
PTC usually has a great roam on the breach so far throughout the beginning of this game, but is it enough to drop 4?
You heard him.
A lot to ask for.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's asking for a minor miracle in that instance. And you know, as you mentioned, Riv, that was just the Sheriff. That was all he had. And for Full Sends, that was the case for a lot of the players. They may have had one Spectre, if I'm not mistaken, but other than that, it was this lighter purchase. So for Cloud9, they're able to get out of things relatively cleanly, right? Get out of that situation with as little damage as possible. They only dropped one member. So we'll see what they have to invest as far as armor goes and what they're able to bring into this. They have 4 ultimates to their name. Zeppa's the only one who doesn't have it, and, well, we saw what that last Showstopper looked like. That's weird. My Showstoppers never do that. That's so embarrassing.
Usually when I open my eyes, I can hit them. We're looking at the map again for Full Sense here. Their pick, the last 8 plays, they are 7-1 on split. With what the record is coming in for C9 at 7 plays, they're 3-4. So Full Sense in the right to be able to pick this map, thinking they'll have the upper hand. But I have not yet seen why it is their pick, Doug.
Yeah.
The strategies are becoming more fight rounds. They're not finding themselves in the site with the majority of members other than the first few rounds. So definitely want to see the versatility there and why this is a 7-1 statistical map for them in 8 plays.
Well, and that, you know, if that's their meal ticket, like, we're just going to slug it out. We're not necessarily concerned about getting the spike down, playing economy a certain way. We're just going to fight it. Like, mano a mano, sure, you can go for that. I think in that instance, if you're Cloud9, who's going to step up? Who's the one who's going to fight back, right? Like, is it going to be Leaf, who has a big performance? Is it going to be Zeppa? Whoever it is, if they're going to lean into that, it's got to be one of them that steps up. Or the alternative is, forget about that, man. If they want to try to, like, run at us and do this, like, force your head into the wall and try to make something happen, so be it. We're just going to play tactfully.
Right.
And we're going to get things done.
heading back in from the Full Sense timeout. And nice and early. I kind of like this. You know, nothing's glossed right now for either team, but sorting out the beginning so you know what to keep doing. Nobody's losing their head just yet. Full Sense, I think that was a good timeout.
Interesting different positioning from Mitch. He's got the alarm bot in mid here. Try to gather some info, as Full Sense have shown that they like to feel out, you know, test the waters, if you will, poke and prod a bit across mid before they decide where they want to go with things. You also have Leaf playing a bit further up, right? Like, he's normally up in a heaven and he'll flash down into ropes, try to get info, but he isn't normally the one himself in that spot. Now he's playing down in ropes. So Cloud9 have clearly shown a bit more interest and a bit more focus in controlling mid-map. The alarm bot's already grabbed value. The gravity wall comes out, but Full Sense manages to stay alive for now.
That's nice. A little change by C9's alert bot change there for Killjoy. Mitch gets the dash already out of John Olsen. Little things changing to mix up how Full Sense feels the round out. Like you said, they still want that mid though. And Cloud9's been giving it to him. It's interesting to see what teams have altered to switching on, focusing A alt orb, now letting A heaven be a thing you defend. Giving up mid and just defending.
Why does he let him
now of rope? Because what do they get? Heaven still have to get to sight. C9 playing it very patient. Oh my gosh, Zeta throws out the Rolling Thunder to just deny anything. 20 seconds left, Doug.
Well, and they want, oh, what was that? Zeppa drops. PTC swings around. You mentioned the Rolling Thunder. They also dropped the Seekers as well, and they spotted that there were a couple players mid. You see the Cosmic Divide coming out.
There's 10 fucking seconds. What are these guys doing?
3 ultimates on the site here. The Spike still just now making its way onto the side. And you've got Vanity in a brutal spot as Vanity and Mitch. Leaf gets in on it as well. It's a clean sweep onto the site once Full Sense made their way there. Cloud9 respond beautifully.
That was incredible. Here comes the Fuse. Vanity looks down, and they're gonna be able to get it there. Mitch stays alive even with Vanity falling. The double Cosmic Divide, I think, gave a little bit of false sense of security to Full Sense. Well, knowing they didn't have to look at their sides too much, if you look backside, C9 never really peaked, which means Full Sense was then thinking, where else could they be? What a take on the site. Instantly, as Full Sense drop in, the moment they couldn't retaliate, that's when C9 peaks it.
You hear Vanity popping off.
Yep, we're getting a little bit of it now. Yeah. Now that they've gotten the lead, it was quiet before.
And it's a good advice, right? You have to kill the bomb diffuser.
There you go.
Certainly wise words of wisdom out from Vanity in that instance. But Full Sense, they've been very competitive up until this point. They still have 2 ultimates to work with in this round, and this mid presence that we've seen really every single round up until this point, Riv. They're not deviating from that initial approach.
They're not.
No way he hits that.
Bitch? You're kidding me.
He was sitting in that fault line. He was sunned up.
Yeah. Mitch with an up, by the way. Something we've mentioned from Cloud9 before, that he is such a flexible player. Always has been, and you'll see him with the operator in different positions on the map. It'll catch you completely off guard as Full Sense lose John Olsen at the beginning of round 8.
Full Sense rocking the spike in the hands of Lemmy Snacks. You see a couple of pings on your mini-map looking towards back B site, so it looks like that's where they want to go. But guess what? Mitch isn't letting you in. That operator, he's been so good with it, and he just continues to cause problems. There's nowhere that's safe. You can't go in towards garage. You can't work your way up mid as well. Cloud9 causing serious problems for Full Sense here. Zeppa gets the last on the round. Cloud9 gets a 5.
Yep.
And this bus,
yeah,
you feel
it's
it?
Rolling.
The wheels are turning, and that round systematically destroyed everything Full Sense wanted to do as the dominoes fell. The first kill, you're not going to be able to have John Olsen opening up the round. He's been dashing in, getting your first frag. The second kill, we see Viper go down. The Viper's ult was planned for B. One after the other, they couldn't get any of the things they wanted to execute into the round as C9 shut that down. Ultimates are still there, though. Full Sense now with that Rolling Thunder, still with the Viper's Pit. Let's see if they can execute a bit more here. Bomb's going to be in mid this time.
Yeah, and you're right. They have the ultimate economy to their name, but they do have armor. They all have light armor.
Try and go for a little buy. See if they can hit.
Yeah, I guess ultimately that's what it comes down to, right? Like, see what you can hit. You all have sheriffs in your hands. See if you can make something out of this. But Riv, I think the interesting thing is, Full Sense, they're not changing the opening plays to the rounds, right? Like,
No.
It's been
Cypher
a bit of the
right,
same.
Viper left, 3 mid.
Right.
Oh, I feel that. And that kind of works to only protocols. They're trying to feel what Cloud9 is doing, I think, instead of have their own agenda, which sometimes work if you're trying to read the other team. But now that they're ahead of you, C9 won't be giving much up. And they'll be taking quite a bit. Chalalala goes down there on a ramp. Almost another shot here from Vanity, and he's going to call for Leaf. Oh, my word. He drops 3 immediately, and those Sheriffs will do no damage.
None at all. It really just comes down to Lamysnax and his Sheriff to do some damage. There's no way he can easily get to the spike at this point either, so this seems like a bit of a foregone conclusion. Cloud9 should be able to get their way to 6. Although, Lamysnax, if you hear me, brother, make me eat my words, because that would be one heck of a play. But it's not doing a Prime Gaming flawless coming out from Cloud9 as they get to 6. Full sends, as we mentioned, they haven't deviated very much from their playbook. This might be the time that we need to see something different. We highlighted the ultimate economy, the position that they're in. Now they should have rifles to work with as well. If there was a time to dial up something, this is it.
So there's nothing, as well as C9 with these rounds has been incredible to just snuff out Full Sense. So they can't deviate from it. But while running that play, you have to find, for Full Sense, you have to find a precedent that C9 is putting up every time. You're like, oh, this is where the alarm bots are. This is where. So walk into the alarm bot instantly and get away from the round. Now one of the players of C9 have to worry about Heaven more. The little hanging fruit that you can attack that you're seeing from C9 isn't being attacked by Full Sense.
Well, and so we already see a difference. Full Sense, instead of working mid, they're trying to work A, but Leaf has already gotten 2 flashes that have confirmed that there are people there, right? Like they're getting the information off of that, so they should be wise to it. And John Olsen gets dropped.
The first time KJ Turret has been watching Heaven, giving Leaf an upper hand in the situation.
My
Mitch with the
lord,
operator
these guys are getting picked off left and right.
Now using that at A as he continues to be omnipresent for the squad.
Seekers come through. Superbus finds an opener towards B, but you've got Zeppa who's there as well. And he hasn't moved.
You just gave up another Vandal in mid.
I know exactly.
Oh, that's a good neural theft though. That's going to push things back. You can see Zeppa's going to have to give that angle up, drop the nade, just in case they're pushing an aggressive. That's actually going to force Full Sense with the spike towards A, but they walk right into an alarm bot. Now they still have to reconsider things. They haven't found a way in.
And that alarm bot also was not there for the past 9 rounds. C9 changing things up to just throw Full Sense for a loop. They can still respond though. 3v4 is a very, very possible round here for Full Sense.
2 members of Cloud9, they're on B. They're going to have to make something happen. Zeppa not able to do so. Do you check Vanity in this spot? He's still playing back garage, plays his life, plays around some of the utility as well as Chala gets the spike down. You see the other remaining members of Cloud9 now starting to show up. The Viper's Pit comes through out from Lamysnax as Vanity.
That kind of gets
mad. Laddie's going in! Oh, he's able to take her Lamysnax, but Chala takes him out as well. A 2v2 for the side as the operator not able to land the first time, but the frenzy does, as they're going to get the defuse as well. Full Sense found a way in. They managed to get the spike down, invest util on it, but it still doesn't work. Cloud9 get to 7.
That should not have happened for Full Sense, and props to Cloud9 for swarming the site. Vanity recognizing right away that, oh, this Viper's Pit gives me a way in. Nobody takes me from spike. The Viper's Pit was cast over by what they call New Box or the Brown Box, so he knew he had time to walk in. Really smartly played by C9 here as Full Sense looked like they were going to have the collapse on the site. Whew. Just unstoppable in these comeback rounds. Or I should say, post-plan executes, not comeback rounds. Really, they were 4v3 to a 3v3 there. No comeback needed.
Still rifles for Full Sense, even with that last round going a bit sideways. Lamysnax has the Bulldog, but everyone else has Vandals and Phantoms to their name. I like this positioning out from Cloud9, taking space across garage, and they set up this cheeky little angle where you have Zeta.
Oh boy.
Yep, the flash comes out. Forget it. It wasn't across. They just flash, and they go in aggressive. The Rolling Thunder is going to come up, and it's going to push them back, and off of that Full Sense take garage.
A 1v1. Do they pause it, though? Obviously, the rotation's coming over. It's still going to be Leaf waiting as Full Sense pause for just a moment.
Oh, and I think the pause is off of, you mentioned Leaf, Riv, just a moment ago. He dropped the Trailblazer in towards mid, back towards Ramen, and didn't spot anyone. So that's why you see him playing a bit more cautiously.
Might need to be
rotated off. Yeah, exactly. But now they know, and Mitch able to get the first. You can see the lockdown's going to come out as well. Zeppa's dropped. Woo!
Yeah, these guys are getting rolled.
The lockdown wasn't needed.
Honestly,
Last round in the half.
I don't have an answer for Full Sense at the moment. The walls are up. They're utiling in. C9 is just finding the angles, finding the directions to take them down every time. Boom, Mitch is going to be able to throw that down right in the nebula that he's next to. Flies down. Just a hop, skip, and a jump with an operator. Why not? Mitch is on fire for this game right now, and Full Sense can't seem to a way to avoid him.
No, that's 7 rounds in a row out from Cloud9. You can tell, you can even see it in the post-round reactions. They're having fun, they're loose, they're enjoying themselves right now, and that's a scary Cloud9, right? Like, that's the Cloud9 that people expected coming into this tournament, this loose play style where they're confident, they're popping off across the stage, and they're feeling good about themselves. That's where you see this incredible run that they've gone on, where Full Sense have not found any room to work with, they haven't found any room to breathe. And that's how they find themselves at this 5-round deficit. A stack towards A, a 5-man stack too. And this is where things get really interesting because once again, take a look at where Xeppaa is. He's already pushed in Garage. He's in Ramen now. He's about to see that mid is absolutely clear. There's so much info gathered here.
We have an altered strat here, Bit, not the 1-3-1 that we've seen from Full Sense across the map.
What?
Numbers, PTC finds Xeppaa. And this is going to be a good start.
Yep. That was very unexpected. An upgraded weapon. But with that, they still double down A. You still have the op. You still have the KJ and the Astra util all over the place.
Here.
But it looks like they want to go
30 seconds left.
anyway. And the question is, like, how long until Mitch gets a shot at this thing?
I mean, you technically have a third person, right? You don't need Vandy there. He's going to throw off the Astra util 2 in sight, are distracted by the turret, and that could be enough, Doug.
And there was the op that we talked about, the grabby one, kept the first player at bay. Mitch gets a second one onto PTC. He's about to have another one up close. John Olsen swings around, drops him. Vanity does the same right back. Vanity's going to have to win this 1v1. He isn't able to do so, but Zeta has shown up. 3 seconds left. Make that none as Riv throws his pen across the desk, and Cloud9 gets to 9.
Yeah, they're getting stopped.
We're going to throw it to the desk to break down what they saw. Dash?
Thank you very much, gents. Love the speed there on that one. A 9-3 half for Cloud9 stringing.
But it's a very heavy defending siding map.
They came alive.
Yeah.
Took them a few moments, a few rounds to warm up, it looked like. But boy, did they come out strong.
I've got 2 very important notes to make about that first half there from C9. 1, loving the Gravwell alarm bot combo, keep it up. And I'm loving that you're placing it in different spots because by the time Full Sense is right into it, oh mid, you know, alarm bot, Gravwell, make sure I go around it. It's not there anymore, it's somewhere else. That trap is laid. And I think I saw the most expensive round of Valorant I've ever seen in my entire career on round 7 of that first half. This game has everything.
Something like 6 ultimates were used in that round. It was absolutely ridiculous from both sides.
Yeah, a lot of investments into that one. And for Full Sense, they're pretty lucky that they got away with the pistol because that gave them that 2-round cushion. You know, the woulda, coulda, shoulda is coming out again. I'm thinking back on round 10, that 3 versus 3. It seemed like every step of the way, Full Sense, any of those swing rounds that they absolutely needed to convert to kind of get themselves some sort of momentum into this half, they lost it, you know, and it was so damn close, right? 3 versus 3, Vanity finds himself in that B main, pushes into that Viper ult, takes out the other Viper, and all of a sudden, they're able to convert a retake they weren't supposed to win.
Doug said it though, this is the kind of Cloud9 that you wanted to see come into this tournament. Playing loose, right? And guess who stepped up, who we were critical of before the series started? It's Leaf. He's got 14 frags to his name through the first half. He's topping the charts for Cloud9. That's what you want to see, a full power Cloud9.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I also want to keep seeing the operator in the hands of Mitch. I mean, I know it's unorthodox, but I'm here for it. I mean, look, there's a script, right? There's a script in Valorant, an unwritten script, but people follow it. And Mitch said, here's the script, light it on fire. This is how I work with the Killjoy, and I am living for it because he's hitting some good shots.
Well, we do swap sides for Full Sense on the attack or on the defensive side now. Obviously, you're going to look for winning the pistol again. If you can at least do that, you give yourself another couple round cushion, perhaps, and we'll see if they can find a way to answer Cloud9 as we toss it back to Doug and Riv.
Thank you so much, Stas. A bit of a disastrous first half for Full Sense as Cloud9 just kind of had their way with them. Now Cloud9 are on the attacking half, and if they dictated the pace, if they kind of did what they wanted against Full Sense defensively, there's really more of an opportunity for them to continue to impose their will upon their opponents.
Breaking them in
For
half.
defensive side, because Full Sense.
This
for
is so
picking this
fucking
map
one-sided.
has not convinced me, Doug.
Nope.
The 1-3-1 consistently running the rounds. Maybe it's the defensive side where they start to absorb their opponents and just play the way that C9 played that. In a sense, obviously not the same game, but Full Sense's style. Because Cloud9 with a pistol here could easily run away with it. And they are set up to just default the heck out of this one to start it and see what Full Sense will throw at them as defense.
You just saw Zeta considering things. They want to go B here. You see they've taken mid. You have some of that breach util. Zeta just goes back, picks up the spike. They want to go that way. The Flash should gather some info that there are two players, or at least that there are players, excuse me, back towards Heaven. And they're going to peel right back, Riv, but I'm not fully convinced. Again, Zeta still has a spike towards Garage.
Right there.
Turret's watching the back, so it looks like they at least want to stay or wait for the turret to trigger so they can play off of that. But Mitch is going to peek first. Big dink onto John Olsen. Massive. Think twice about doing that again. Leaf's going to do the same, and there's the push coming in as PTC, or sorry, Chalala wants to get the aggression onto Garage, and it's not going to happen on Mitch.
No, it's not working, and even if he had somehow gotten that, there were two other members from Cloud9 who were rotating back onto the site, so the guy was a sitting duck. He was surrounded. Lamy snacks up in Heaven. That's an excellent shot. Superbuzz keeping things interesting as well. Mitch in this 1v2, they're both so weak. All he has is a classic to work with, though, and he's certainly worse for wear as well. One, that's the key. He had to isolate that gunfight. He still has this classic jumping around, waiting to see where Superbus is going to push this. Patience!
Oh, they actually got
Superbus
it.
lands the shots. Full Sense win the pistol. Potter mentioned it on the desk, like, it was essentially their saving grace that they won the pistol in the first round. They managed to do it again here.
And maybe a few more rounds, because right after those next two of the first half, it was a punch-for-punch fight until C9 said thank you very much and ran right away with what they found out Full Sense was doing on attack. Now the other way around, maybe Full Sense runs away with it. We'll see here, C9 now looking to be on the eco as Full Sense come up with this one. Super busts. The great patience there. I think hearing Mitch jump twice kind of gave Superbus a bit of patience. He's like, all right, if he does that again, I can execute. So really well played there in just the mind game.
Looking full Cloud9. Not Full Sense, Cloud9. They buy Spectres and a Bulldog in the hands of Mitch, so doesn't seem like they're comfortable just letting this round go. And they're leaning towards A right now. The spike not in anyone's hand. They want to frag this bad boy out.
This is a statement round for C9.
Oh, what statement's being made? Lammy Snacks and Superbus make a statement, but Cloud9 do as well, as the debate continues between these two. A couple of kills go down, and off of that, they should know now that Cloud9 did buy up, that they don't just have pistols, and Full Sense have to adjust accordingly and keep that in mind as the rest of the round goes on.
Currently have the upper hand in those weapons, and as much as it is a make-or-break round here, in the message sender for C9, if Full Sense wins it, it's return to sender, right? They say, here, take it right back. We're going to make it that much harder on you. So C9 really have to come up with this. Mitch, one away from the ultimate. If he can get it this round, it pretty much solidifies it. So a kill on him would be huge.
Oh.
Ooh, Chalalala.
That's huge.
Chalalala.
Huge. Chalala is the only one on
Wow.
the site, too.
And
So he
actually,
has to go big there as Vanity dropped. Chalala still is going to have his hands full, but he has full armor. He has full health. And he's got
Wow, they're actually getting destroyed, though.
PTC, the last one on the site here in this 1v2. Both members of Cloud9 so weak. The spike just now starting to go down. I like the use of utility to delay PTC's advancement to go forward, create path for the spike to go down. Zeta's up top in Heaven. He gets 3 on the round. Cloud9 get to 10. The investment was well spent.
One more flash, Doug. Oh, one more flash in the pocket. Wasn't
He
able to
did
use
have
it, though.
another
One for
flash,
first
though.
peek,
He
or
could have
maybe a
flashed
pillar
again.
flash after. You never know what's going on in the mind of those clutch situations. But 10-4. We said it would be a hell of a message sent if C9 could grab it. And you see the economy that is Full Sense is now stuck with here as we go in around 15.
I mean, they've got nothing. Right, and all of a sudden, we're probably looking at 11-4. You've got maybe 1-2 more rifle rounds to really get a shot at this thing, to make it competitive, or else you're going to get blown out on your map pick to open the series in this elimination match.
And Doug, we go to Breeze next. In the last 10 plays, C9 are 9-1 on Breeze to a 3-3 record for Full Sense. So for Full Sense to lose their map here may be enough for C9 to bring it through. This one's not over yet. We can't say that, but Full Sense have their work cut out here as C9 is played the default to perfection to get into sight.
Taking that back.
A little bit of Astra eye candy going down towards A as Vanity drops 2 stars, 1 in heaven, 1 in defender spawn, and then recalls them almost instantly. And off of this, you see Cloud9, they're slowly working mid, trying to see if they can find some room to work with.
Yeah.
Also the alarm bot there in B to make sure that Chalala is not up to his crazy antics again, pushing his way into garage. We'll see how Cloud9 choose to play this out.
45 seconds. Secondary util's gonna be up. Maybe another guiding light coming through. Leaf's gonna have the one they need, however, to take heaven. And they run right through once again, knowing it's pistols that they're facing.
They're just rolling
Too
through
easy
them.
at that point, right? Like you can see it once they had the positioning that they wanted, once they had the utility available. It was the flash, it was the fault line, it was taking space across mid, and there was really nowhere for them to go. Vanity cleans up the last. The Prime Gaming flawless out for Cloud9 as they get to 11. Full Sends, we mentioned at the beginning of the previous round, Riv, like they have maybe 1-2 more windows. This is one of the last few that they'll have.
It's getting tough. The economy is not going to be in their favor with another loss here. And maybe maybe you get a push-up. I think their read on C9 needs to be a little bit better without feeling so scared about the situation. Get a little that cackle. Oh my word. Can't, just contagious laughter. Maybe a push out of A main, at least to get a feeler, a push into B main to get a feeler, right? Know where C9 isn't is enough right now, I think, for Full Sense to get the upper hand on the first kill, because right now they're not using any info. They're letting C9 approach them.
So Lammy Snacks and Superbus are 1 point each away from having their ultimates online, and those are considerable ultimates when it comes to trying to push back a site take or trying to fight for a post.
They should win this though.
Site retake as well. So we'll see if they manage, if they can get either a kill or get an ult, or if they can do something with those.
Vanity's like, hey, I'm in sight. And with the way Full Sense is playing this, it's, hey, will post-plant execute? But the trades haven't been there. The timing hasn't been there. So you're going to give Cloud9 a full sight when you've had trouble taking it back.
He's actually going to get stuck. What the fuck, man?
Oh, that's able to get it, but yeah, it's traded right back. The spike still hasn't made its way onto the site. You've got Chalala, who's still playing up in
Don't
heaven.
do this.
On this side of the Astra smoke, it drops. He's able to land the shots on the Leaf and manages to stay alive. Damage has been done. Spike's still not down. Now it's going to go down. Zeta has a Rolling Thunder, too.
Yes, good call.
Spike planted.
I don't think they can get Chalala over anybody for that neural uplink, so they're not going to be able to figure out where they can get the frags left. They have the flank from Mitch, Doug. The post plant set up. Will Full Sense keep this off game point?
And remember, he just has a Bulldog, and Zeta only has a Spectre. But once they feel where the pressure
No, don't do this.
be able to get something going. Here they go. The dash comes through out from John Olsen. That's going to trigger the Rolling Thunder. As you see, John Olsen made his way around Pillar Zeppa.
What is that? You should have not done that.
Gets dropped at the hands of Superbus. It all falls down to Zeta. Zeta's able to get one. Able to get a second.
Zeta?
Oh, he's going to have to get a third. Switches to the Classic. Not able to do it. Full Send should get the defuse and get to 5.
It's the yellow wire. Perfect. Nice cut. That's a big one. That's especially for
I
the
think there
positioning Full
was.
Sense had on the execute for Cloud9. PTC coming up with a very big trade frag to start that one off. Nice fault line in to make sure they could capitalize on that. And,
I'm not sure.
Zephyr gave
Asians
them a
are not
real
that.
big trouble
The Asian
coming
teams
in
aren't
here,
that
so a lot of
dominant.
those guns are going to have to be repurchased, which will affect Full Sense. Happy on the round, but they're going to be digging into their into their pockets.
Cloud9 still comfortably in the lead.
Yeah.
They also worth noting, as we mentioned, Riv, they didn't have a full buy. Now they do. They have so much.
I've seen Koreans die.
Making sure there's nobody pushing in garage.
Japanese.
Sense in an equally. Oh, I shouldn't say equally because that's not entirely true. John Olsen only has light armor, but they've been able to buy up full rifles as well.
And it hasn't been like a Blade Storm alt game or any, it's just the chances have not arisen for the power players here on Full Sense, it seems. Creeping.
But it's the battle between NA and EU.
Almost
That's what
awkward
everybody
C9
is interested in.
A little faster than usual, and yeah, Zeppa's gonna go in without the utility first, and it's costly. John Olsen picks up frag 1.
Mitch has managed to work his way all the way into garage with that operator. We just have to.
The whole NA EU thing came from CSGO. Counter-Strike,
They decide to
where
go here,
EU
they've
was
got-
always on
the thing is
top
they don't
and
have any
NA was
pressure coming
literally
from that,
nowhere
right? Like,
to
they
be
don't have any
seen.
mid presence either, so it's all gonna be funneled in from the same
Even though they
spot.
won a major
And
though.
Superbus and John Olsen are able to stuff the two entry members of Cloud9 who don't manage to rake their way out of the site. John Olsen gets a third on the round. Cloud9 get wiped.
Collapsing on C9, and that's big because in the hands of C9, we only saw the 400, 500 credits. I think Zeta's the one that might be able to overbuy for people if they aren't going for the save here. But he'll have a bit of cash, and they're kind of put in a bad spot right now. Leaf's going to go for the Stinger. You see he does have enough to buy. You can buy down to about 1,600 if you know you're getting 29 the next time. So he goes to about 15. You see the rest of the team trying to get what they can.
Now, and on the side of Full Sends, John Olsen's got an op.
Yeah.
Now, we'll see if he's able to make some magic happen with that bad boy. Picks up what Mitch had. Also has that Blade Storm to his name, and it looks like he's going to be peeking right across mid. Early on, there's no one who's going to contest that, at least yet. Keep a close eye on it. That Guardian, though,
Fucking 6 shot.
pretty good out of Mitch.
Good return on investment to start this one off. And that's going to cause a little
What
bit
an
of a
idiots,
sorting
man.
here
These
from the rest of
positions,
Full Sense as they
dude.
move around to get new angles and figure out what would be the most efficient. Another is taking his PTC falls.
They're doubling down on this Rift. Cloud9 have 3 pistols in this round. They do have 2 rifles, and they've paid off already. They've found value, but they still have to get to do 3 more rifles on the fight. On the side of Full Sense, Shalala has been pushed back as Mitch drops. You also have the Blade Storm coming out from John Olsen as well. We'll see what he's able to do with it as the spike goes down at the hands of Cloud9.
Spike planted as Superbus still checking the far side of the map. C9 doing a great job of getting themselves in, and now they start to spread out. They leak out of the site, and it's almost going to be a retake on their own plan if they have to.
Oh, they want to push. You can tell Vanity, he wants to push. He wants to go, and there Chalala drops him. The neural theft comes through. John Olsen makes that operator
There you
sense,
go. That
and
was
the Blade
very
Storm
fucking
does it
dumb
as
they
well.
did that.
Full Sense looking so good right now. Cloud9 had a moment where it seemed like they were going to be able to pull it back. At a gun deficit, not able to do so. Chalala gets the defuse. Great answer from Full Sense. They're getting to 7. They're bringing this thing back, Rick.
Absolutely. I C9. I thought
This
that
map
push
fucking
out was going to
sucks.
give them the advantage, but forgetting they were on the half
This
by
map
round
seriously
definitely makes
sucks.
it tougher to hit those long shots. Hit a shot where you're coming out of a smoke to react. And that is the situation.
Like, they had the
that
openings,
Full Sense
but-
creates. Nicely done. We talked about the Blade Storm. Here it comes into play. Johnny O making it happen for his squad right now. Superbus to clean that one up. You can see how pumped they are to keep these rounds coming. They found a bit of a groove here. Let's see if they can shut C9 down for a few more rounds.
Cloud9 with a full buy. Ops still in the hands of John Olsen. You hear that early ult coming out from Lammy Snacks across mid.
Mid-ult. Well, they know he left his ult. Or at least know somebody's outside the ult. They wouldn't necessarily know it's him. Depends on how Leaf decides to play this further. And they are actually going to stack it. PTC just on either side for a bit of a flash or a fault line if Lammy needs it. I like this. That's an A last time. C9 now with their eyes focused on the B side.
And the spike is there. Mitch clearing out the corners into garage. They're going to get in just fine, but you still have John Olsen's operator who's playing backside, as you can see right now. They've really got to play off of utility to make this happen. The Cosmic Divide, all sorts of ultimates coming through, and the Gravity Wall keeps Seppa showstopper at bay, but he manages to land the shot on PTC anyway. With that, Full Sense have given up site control. They can't fight for this. They have to attempt to do this at a retake situation.
That makes it so tough. Just on either side of the wall. Oh my word. Zeta's gonna be stuck for a moment now. Cat and mouse everywhere within B site, Doug.
3 members remain for Full Sense as they attempt to retake this thing. Zeta should have just spotted a little bit of something. Operator still in the hands of John Olsen. Are gonna have to work their way forward soon. Reinforcements arriving for Cloud9 as well.
Oh, they won.
John Olsen drops. Lammy Snacks does as well. It's just down to Chalala and his 10 HP, dancing around the utility, trying to make something happen. As he falls, Zeta gets to 3. Cloud9 get to map point.
I like the B side take. Cloud9 goes in, knowing an operator on the other side always makes it more difficult for the team to play those close quarter situations. As well, C9 getting to switch up site to site, and that little gem that Zeppa was able to pick up to start this one off. A few shots come from that off, but you see how hard it is to set up. Zeta just able to rip off one after the other here.
This breach is just so good, man.
It
Full
is.
Sense.
It is really good.
Full Sense calling a timeout late in this map, and Riv potentially too late.
they found their groove, so they're like, all right, maybe we don't need that. We have to understand what C9 is doing. It seems like they had the read for 3 rounds, but Cloud9 always has these explosive rounds where they blast in and they surprise you. There it was on to B, and they were able to basically, if they don't get that showstopper frag, do they win that round? Maybe, right? Things like that can definitely sweep you off your feet, but I still think the play was right with an operator being on the side of Full Sense to go for the closer site. It starts to come down to economy as well. If you know your team, the opposing team can't support themselves fully, B site is that much harder to take. It's not a site you can just continue to fire from top down on heaven. You have to get up close and personal to your opponents, blast them out of the back and displace them with utility. And if you don't have that, they just get to pick you off as they approach B site. So that's why economy can become so big on split and really start to sway the game more than others for a map.
Full Sends on their map find themselves a round away from losing it and then having to go over into Cloud9's bread and butter, right? Breeze, we talked about it as map 2, but before we get much further,
I need this
Cloud9
playlist,
still have to
man. They
finish this thing.
use.
Full Sends, they are going to have a full buy. They have the operator in the hands
I
of John
really
Olsen
need the
as well.
fucking
We've seen he's
playlist.
pretty freaking good with it.
Yeah.
And they've got the Cosmic Divide in the hands of Superbus.
And full util is there. No excuses on retakes for anybody. Game point, Full Sense. Pressure on their map pick. The first one of this series coming through. The last chance qualifier teams looking to keep their lower bracket run alive here in game 1 with a win. What will it be? C9s or Full Sense?
John Olsen wants to go fast. Look at where he's positioned right now with that operator. There it is. It was just off of the utility from PTC. Swings out, and he takes this aggressive angle. The Trailblazer. Oh, Mitch! Oh, baby, that timing was close to Gravity Wells there as well. That's going to push them back.
I think only one was seen, maybe 2 there. I think he saw PTC, but maybe John Olsen as well. So Trailblazer with great info. Turret set up, and a little bit of a different look from C9 as well. That Full Sense will have to read now. John Olsen will approach the ramp once again.
With that operator, he should get a much cleaner angle, but no, the turret pulls him back. That's what I love about this game, man. You've got like these little mini micro fights that happen throughout the much bigger story that goes off throughout the round. So even like that opening duel and the positioning that was set up opened up so much more. And now we see some more of that going down as 2 kills have been traded. Back and forth, the spike rotating back mid. You still have John Olsen with the operator back towards A, and that seems like where Cloud9 wants.
Oh my god.
You rat. You're going to get the timing just right, aren't you? Right into John Olsen. He spots the barrel of the operator. This is surely not one of those moments just taken right before disaster. No, John Olsen's operator drops. The site's been cracked open. Cloud9 should be able to work their way in very effortlessly.
Beautifully taking space. That was incredible. Especially without Vanity, you don't have smokes to go down. So everything you do now only gets a little bit of utility from Raze or from Sky. That's incredible Leaf made it that far.
Good flash to get info that somebody's creeping in from Defender spawn, and that is PTC. He's slowly, surely creeping his way out, trying to do so safely. A little bit of dueling breaches as Fault Lines comes through. The Gravity Well there is there as well to keep Zeta in a brutal spot. Cosmic Divide dropping, Leaf playing first contact. The flash comes out, and there it goes. Yeah, man, they just fall apart. There was just nothing to it. Full Sense crumble. They're late.
These guys are not good, man. They started good, but they're not fucking good.
Pretty clean fashion.
Pretty clean fashion. The few round drops there.
I need this
think, they
playlist
got surprised by Full Sense.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I feel like Full Sense didn't fully have a chance to
This match
come
is very
online
boring.
because Cloud9 prevented that. The first few rounds we saw were, okay, Burst Pistol, that buffer that they had, and then C9 just started to wear away at what Full Sense was doing. Never really allowing Full Sense's default to become more than just kind of mid-rope play or A-Heaven play. So I think there needed to be a little bit of versatility there for Full Sense, and Cloud9 was just able to read it overall.
Yeah, and I think while we make jokes and laugh, whatever, about the 9-3 curse and what have you, I think the truth is, like, you're right. I don't know that there was enough versatility out from Full Sense in the beginning half for them to find themselves down 9-3 going into the defending side. Like, Full Sense, the deficit was too big. Right, and while they made it a bit competitive at the end there, we saw, again, Cloud9 doing Cloud9 things, taking space, starting aggressive moments that you wouldn't necessarily expect to take space away and to take early duels that lead to numbers advantages. Like, they had their T's crossed, and what's the T's crossed and the I's dotted? I always mess that up when I try it.
Lowercase J's too, you don't miss anything.
For Cloud9, like, excellent start.
It is, and looking at as well, Full Sense looking to come in with the breach, put John Olsen onto Jet. Maybe a little too much at the last moment. Obviously things that they practiced and feel comfortable on, but it didn't seem to throw C9 for a loop at all with the preparation that they did coming into the game as John tried to get back on this Jet to make it work for the squad.
And even as much as, look man, even as much as we talked about John Olsen on the Jet and can he have his moments, can he have his place, we did see a fun highlight player too, right? We think about Blade across heaven and how that was flashy, but the truth is, nobody Full Sense went positive. Nobody.
That's a big point. And I think one of the things to recognize for C9 is that they were altering strats they see that did not work, right? They wouldn't run the same default. We saw 2A, 3B, 2B, 3A, some mid and some rounds. Really just not setting a precedent, so Full Sense could never get a read.
Cloud9 takes split in pretty commanding fashion. We're going to throw it to a break, see what map 2 looks like. Don't go anywhere.
Dude, these zombs are so fucking toxic. This playlist, I need this playlist. Valorant playlist. No, this is not what Valorant playlist masters. This shit is fucking 3 hours. You got to be kidding me. It's not. Berlin. Is that the playlist? But I need to have it on fucking Spotify. Wait, what is that? Oh, it's just a tune. One sec. And Jacob? I don't know what the fuck he's doing. I need to sleep, man. Smoke a J and listen to this. Yo, I need this. No, if I actually... I need to follow this playlist. How do I do that? Opening desktop app. How do I search this? Oh, that actually works. I need to follow this playlist. How do I do that?
Look at the street, look at that girl. She like to dance, what a mad world. You could be you could be free. You like to dance, that's so do we. Look at the street, look at that girl. She like to dance, what a mad world. You could be you could be free. You like to dance, do it on me. Wow, fix up, mob go crazy. It's like, wow, keep up. These boys get wavy, they're like, wow, keep up. These
Well, I think that's it for me, man. I'm fucking tired. I need to take a shit. And I need to sleep. Yeah, I'm out of here, guys.